welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my co-host. His name is Lawrence Thomas Heisey, and he's a bit of a bloody dickhead. I don't know why I went Australian there. Well, that
What was
New
that?
Zealand, I guess. Anyway, shut up. Tell us what this show is all about, you.
Hello, Nathan. This is a show where two bloody dickheads get together every week to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. It could be a movie, it might even be a telly show, it could be a video game, but the main thing is that we do so without any of the toxic discourse that is oh so very prevalent these days.
Good luck this week, that's all I'm saying. How are you?
I'm well. Yeah, doing okay. I had a very long morning, maybe due in part to what this episode is about, but yeah, other than that.
That's your own fault, though, really.
Well, no, because I can get up and watch a movie, and I couldn't have watched it last night anyway, because you claim that spot.
Well-
And we share a device, apparently.
First of all, no, that you could have watched it last night, all right?
You can't watch a rented thing on Prime at the same time as another user is watching it.
But also, if I hadn't messaged you last night, would you have rented it and watched it last night?
No, probably not. to be fair.
Exactly. So shut the fuck up. All right?
I understand that you did the sensible thing so that we weren't in a position where we both wanted to watch it tomorrow morning or this morning. I get it.
Yes, exactly. You fucking idiot.
But I still paid, so that's fine.
Well,
So
no,
I still-
I'm going
I
to give
still
you the
win.
money. I'll give you the fucking £3.49.
I don't
Lawrence.
want it, Nathan. I want to win.
Fine then. You can have it.
No, please.
You said it. It's on record.
Damn. I wish I never opened my mouth. How are you today?
I'm good. I woke up like an hour ago. So,
Oh yeah, you have a day off, is it?
yeah. I got a week
Very
off.
pleasant. Oh, what's that for? Any occasion or just fancied it?
Book time. Fancied it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've only recently just started. You walk in and you're like, a week off now, please.
Look, I'm sick of this. Okay.
Did you lie and say it was one of your pre-established agreements from your old job?
No, I just booked it.
Okay, fair.
I just booked it.
So you finished your day of work and you went, do you know what? I'm going to celebrate the start of my week off by watching Batman v Superman, the ultimate world's longest edition.
I mean, in a sense, yes.
It wasn't what you were thinking of when you booked that time off, was it? That wasn't your hopes.
No, it wasn't, if I'm being completely honest with you. But
Yeah.
hey, it certainly is now a part of it. Yeah, so we did Man of Steel. I've been on a bit of a Batman kick recently and have been playing the Batman Arkham games. I completed the trilogy. I rewatched The Batman from 2022. Soured on it quite a bit from my original.
Quite a little bit.
A little bit. I think I was very positive when we first discussed it on this podcast, and then rewatching it, I was like, "Oh boy, this is."
I went back and listened to it, and well, not all of it, but like the first 5 minutes, and I'm paraphrasing, but you led me down a garden path trying to trick me into saying that you hated it, and then you were like, I think it might be the best live-action Batman ever.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, who is?
Well, who is or what is?
Who is the best live-action Batman? Doesn't have to be the best movie.
In terms of what, though? In terms of, like, accuracy to source material, you can do it by on-screen presence. You can do it by, you know, who fucking looks the best, I guess. I don't know.
Your personal favourite.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's run them through. Val Kilmer. Well, no, George Clooney.
No, Keaton.
No, hang on, we're running them through.
Yeah, he's the first one.
No, fucking, what's his face called? Adam West.
Okay, but then why are you saying George Clooney? Okay.
Because in my head, I thought it was George Clooney, if I'm honest. Okay, I fucked up.
Okay. Dickhead.
Adam West.
Adam West. Okay, to be honest, I've only seen the movie. I haven't seen much of the TV show apart from funny little clips here and there. And the movie is genuinely hilarious. It's a great, funny movie, okay? And it's what Batman was at the time. Funny, pulpy, camp, good fun. So
Yeah.
for the time, great, you know? It's good stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to disparage it. Keaton was good at Bruce Wayne in a way that, like, not many of the others were. Keaton had a real great sense of privilege about his Bruce Wayne. I feel it felt natural that he was this billionaire character. Like he didn't seem to be an act like, oh, he's secretly a nice guy. Like I could see he's a bit of a prick, you know?
Yeah, he was at heart because he was not raised to be, but like he's grown up with inherent privilege, so he is just naturally a bit snobby.
Yeah.
And then it just comes out of him.
And he's good. It's a good portrayal. Kilmer, yeah.
Who has ever cared?
Yeah, no one. And to be honest, I haven't seen that movie in like fucking 20 years at this point. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Clooney, awful.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie. It's not supposed to be, but it's a funny movie.
He manages to somehow be a bad Bruce Wayne and a bad Batman.
Yeah.
And then, like, returned and went, do you remember how bad I was? I'm somehow worse.
And he's also got a Robin who's like 40 years old as well. But so did Val Kilmer, to be fair. They had the same Robin. And they all had the same Alfred for some reason. Christian Bale,
I think his Bruce Wayne is way better than his Batman. His Batman just kind of seems uncomfortable.
Because he's not Batman.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking armed militia soldier or some shit, isn't he? Really?
I saw a fucking clip on Twitter, and it was just, I don't know why I find it so funny, but it's in Dark Knight Rises, and
Is it the comeback?
Yeah. But for listener context, right? It's just a clip of fucking Bane going, you came back to die with your city. And then it cuts to Batman, who's just stood in a really awkward, not medium, not wide shot.
Yeah.
And he just goes, no, I came here to stop you. And then they just start fighting. And I genuinely went through the video. I scrubbed through it on the tiny little Twitter video player. And I was like, they could have cut this line and just Bane could have just fucking body slammed him and it would have been so much better for it.
Yeah.
It's like a mum I've been sick pose.
Yeah, it's not good.
It feels very, very uncomfortable. Also, that batsuit is fucking awful.
I hate a lot of the aesthetics of the Nolan-verse Batman stuff. I think I just hate the Nolan-verse Batman. Although Dark Knight is a very good movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like all of the three movies.
Not me.
Right?
I like one of them.
I like them in varying orders,
Okay.
I will say. They do vary in quality, but I like them as movies. But yeah, just anytime you like see something that was designed, you're just like, why did you go with that? Like Bane and the Joker, they look good, right? But like Bane's not faithful in any way, shape, or form.
Bane's just a guy.
Yeah.
And they gave him that silly little voice.
That's true. Yeah, fuck the voice. All right.
But
Pattinson.
that voice has now kind of, in a funny way, kind of become Bane's voice now, though. Because like that's his voice in like the Harley Quinn animated show. He's like his big comic book like luchador Mexican wrestler Bane, but then he does go, this is Gotham's reckoning.
But movies have a way of doing that, don't they? Of just being like, if the movie did it once, it's now just how it is. Like, isn't that the whole thing about RDJ's Tony Stark just changed who the fuck Tony Stark was in the comics completely?
Yeah, they do that. They do that. They'll follow what's popular. We'll skip over Batfleck.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
We'll circle back. Pattinson, he's good. All right.
My take is that it's there is no divide, but that's obviously the point. Like this Bruce Wayne is not Bruce Wayne. He's just lived to train to be Batman his entire fucking life.
He is just fully sunk into the role of the Batman. He's sunk into the myth. What is he? It's the second year that he's Batman.
Yeah, he's starting out his second year of it.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Okay, and it's a good performance. Okay, and I said this to you the other day after playing through the Arkham trilogy. I'm like, it's just so much more boring though, isn't it? Because like, just look at the amount of good stuff that is in the comics and the source material and the amount of just incredible stories you can tell with the fucking insane and colorful and ridiculous characters that you have in the Batman world. And then they're like, no, but what if it was real? Like, we've seen it. We've seen it so fucking much.
I think that's your whole thing, isn't it? Your whole thing isn't necessarily the quality of the Batmen in question. It's more just like, when can we experience something different? When is the new take coming?
I want comic book pulpy Batman. I want him to fight a fucking laughing idiot in a purple suit with green hair and a big fucking guy who's got venom pumping through his veins and is 7 feet tall and a fucking I don't know, a fucking man who wears a fucking black and white suit which is cut down the middle and a weird little guy with a fake British accent and a monocle. All right, just let him fight all these fucking weirdos and just have fun with it, man. I don't want this. Oh, but what if the Penguin was actually a mob boss played by Colin Farrell? Sure, it's good. All right, yeah, it's a good performance and it's pretty funny at times, but But what if he was a weird little British man instead? You know?
I love to picture you in the cinema. You're so conflicted because you've had a good time with the movie. You've gone like, that was a well-made movie. I quite enjoyed that movie. But then like its success only pushes your fucking weirdo Batman further out of reach from any studios because they're just going, well, we'll make this one again. We'll just do this and keep going.
And don't even get me started on his fucking car, mate. Just give him a big, long, dumb car. Give him a little boy in shorts, all right, and send them out to fight crime together. That's all I want.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Let's circle back round to Batfleck then.
Batman v Superman. Dawn of Justice. Ultimate Edition. 2016. Snyder Cut. Jesus Christ. Was you aware... Am I doing my thoughts on the Batman? The Batfleck man?
We'll do him as we go through the whole thing. We should probably jump into the film.
Yeah, we probably should. Was you aware that this movie starts off in 4:3 or like whatever fucking aspect ratio it was? Because I started this movie and I was like, have I put on the Snyder Cut? What the fuck? Have I put on Justice? Have I put on Zack Snyder's Justice League by mistake? I literally had to come out of it and double check that I bought the right fucking movie.
I wasn't aware. And let's not get into this because we'll waste another 15 minutes. But my note reads, oh, hell yeah, we got that IMAX ratio, boy.
I got every time it cut. And it does it a few times in the movie. There's a big moment, better cut to fucking portrait mode for some fucking reason. Whenever it does that, I'm like, oh, why are we doing this? It just takes me out of the movie every fucking time.
Do you need glasses? I feel like it just doesn't affect me this much. Like I don't think I was ever distracted.
Affect you going from a fucking wide boy to this fucking.
But I notice it.
It doesn't even fill up my TV screen, Lawrence. That's how I notice it.
Nor does the other one.
But yes, but it.
How many fucking times?
Yes, but it does. It fills it up from left to right, and that's how you watch a movie. You don't watch a movie vertically, do you?
It's not. Oh, do you know what? No, we're not doing this. We're not. Go and check a million other episodes.
I don't understand how it's better because it's just less screen.
It's not better. It's just different. It's something else, and it's like
it's
also
less screen.
Having seen fucking. I saw Dune 2 in IMAX, and then I saw it on a normal, just a local cinema.
Dune.
Right? No, but like. They are made so that the IMAX ratio is always kept. When they film it, they have these sticker things that go over the viewfinders and the camera screens that show them how to frame up the shot and stuff. So they always have like the best thing in mind. Like they're always looking at it going, yeah, this shot that we've lined up will work with IMAX viewings as well as like standard 2:3:9:1 or whatever it is. Right, the CinemaScope ratio that pretty much is all movies at home.
Because everyone agrees it's the best way to watch movies.
No, the distribution companies have agreed this. There are so many people. Dune 2 just released digitally, and it's cropped to 2:3:9:1.
Yeah.
And people are like, why would you? It makes shots worse. Like like not releasing that IMAX aspect ratio just makes no sense to me. Like because that's how it was intended to be seen.
Filming in that ratio makes no sense to me because like. I don't understand the appeal of it. It's like we agree we moved on from this. Like we had TV in 4:3 and then we were like, this is shit. What if we could see more?
But it serves a different purpose. Like it's better for certain shots and certain things. Do you not ever think like I mean, I know you don't because we've had this conversation about 8 times. But like I don't know, it's built to serve a different purpose. There's a deliberate shot in Dune 2 where I won't say the context or anything, but the guy's holding his fist up in the air. No, but other people might, and they might not have seen it. But a guy's holding his fist up in the air, right? And then it's like in 2:3:9:1, it's fucking cropped, and so you can just see his wrist, and his fist is out of the screen. And his fist being clenched is quite a big thing. Like it matters. So it's like, hey, you filmed this in IMAX ratio. Why not just put it out in it? Like TVs can handle it.
But then
and I'm not talking the tall-ass 70mm ones. I'm talking the ones that would just fit on a nice... You've seen some of the fucking Marvel movies with the IMAX enhanced, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that. It wouldn't be the big tall one. It wouldn't be cropped at the sides. That's how it would just look on a screen. And it like that would fill your entire screen. So I feel like your argument there would be like, that's ideal.
It's not ideal because then It feels less like a movie, more like a TV show then.
See, that to me just feels, that's the preference. That's where I'm like, there's no logic behind that. That's just what you want.
That is logic. That is logic.
It's your logic, and it's fine. You're allowed a preference.
But it's logic that's based on the industry as a whole, because all TV shows are filmed in 16:9, and a vast majority, like 95% of movies, are like in that fucking 2:9 ratio, whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's not just me being fucking quirky and saying, "Oh, I like this," you know. It's like pretty much an industry standard. Okay.
But it's not an industry standard. It's normal, but it's not an industry standard. People shouldn't have to just adhere to it. And like in the last, I don't know, maybe like 5-7-ish years, I think it was since whenever the Grand Budapest Hotel came out, like people have been going fucking ape shit for like changing up aspect ratios, and like some people working in the industry have like really tried to like, hey, this is actually the best format for the story I want to tell. And also my cinematographer thinks that these shots would be more interesting for this version of this movie that we want to make. And it's, I don't know, when people push back against it, I'm like, why? What's the problem? I just don't, it's just another way of looking at something.
Well, what's the problem with just filming, with having it into by fucking whatever?
Then but that's the thing, if that's right for the story, film it that way. But then like, don't limit it to just that, because then that's the weird thing. That's the gatekeeping aspect.
What do you mean don't limit it to just that though?
So if industry standard became you are only allowed to shoot anything in 2391, it would be that's limiting. That's a limitation on art. Tell me it's not. If you're only allowed to do something one way, that's a limitation, is it not?
I mean, yeah, but like, you can fucking say that about anything. Oh, you're only allowed to film this movie with a camera. That's a limitation.
Do you want to reevaluate that at all?
No, because it's just
I don't know what that point is. You're only allowed to eat food. That's a limitation. You're not. That's not sense. That's you just saying a fact.
But
whereas my thing very clearly has two different options, one of which is clearly limiting and the other isn't.
I just see it as a movie should be in that ratio because it's more cinematic to me.
And that is fine. That's a preference. That's totally allowed. But let me have my preference of like, I think a director should choose and a cinematographer should work together. And if another aspect ratio
but I don't have to like it. And I can bitch about it
I have never said that you do.
Because I don't. And I can criticize a movie for shifting aspect ratios every 15 minutes because it's fucking annoying and it takes me out of the movie every fucking time.
It never bothers me unless it's in like multiple times in a scene. Like if you film an entire set piece or an entire scene in one aspect ratio, that's fine with me. But if you're like shot to shot and it just keeps fucking changing, that
Dark Knight Rises does that.
Dark Knight Rises does do that. There's a Transformers movie that gets memed on because it does it like 5 times in 30 seconds, which is pretty bad. But anyway, now that we've discussed that for the 18th time, should we get into the movie?
I guess.
No, to answer your question, I wasn't expecting it. I was pleasantly surprised by it, but then I thought it might have been the whole thing, but then it kind of cut back and forth, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with this.
Okay.
Why are you so cross?
Because I don't like it.
You don't have to. I feel like there's going to be a lot of this movie that you don't like. Right, do you want to do some general thoughts?
It's long.
Yeah.
It's so fucking long, mate. Oh my God. I can't like count the amount of times I was checking the fucking progress bar when I was watching this movie and I was like, I'm only a fucking hour into this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And like fucking nothing has happened as well. It's so long. It drags so fucking much.
Yeah. Then they made it longer.
And they made it longer, yeah.
I don't know if we said it. We watched the Ultimate Edition.
It'll be in the title.
Right. Yeah, oh yeah. But it's like, it's supposedly, is the idea behind this is supposed to be like the first iteration of a Snyder Cut. This is the version he wanted to put out. Is that what this is?
I guess.
I'm sick of that man just being like, I made a shit movie. Do you want a better one?
He fucking did it just the other day with like fucking a movie that came out like, fucking 15 years ago? And
also on streaming. You don't have a fucking... There's no laws.
Stop this. Stop. I don't like him. I don't like it. Whatever.
The concept of a Netflix movie needing a director's cut is wild, considering they supposedly give directors...
Oh, no, that's Rebel Moon.
Oh, what one are you thinking of?
Sucker Punch. Like, because he came out like just this week saying, yeah, there's a Snyder cut of Sucker Punch that needs to be made, but it needs fan support or whatever.
Oh, see, this is the thing, right?
Who cares?
Yeah. Also, like, I haven't. That's the first time I've heard Sucker Punch referenced in at least 5 years. Like, I just haven't heard of that movie in not so long. Oh, it's weird, right? Because it's important to note that, like, because we'll probably talk about it a little bit in this, that, like, Zack Snyder, he's a goof, right? He's a bit of a fucking idiot, and he puts his foot in his mouth all the time. But he's, like, mostly just a nerdy guy that wants to make cool, epic movies. And he's just garnered this incredibly toxic, horrendous fan base around him, which, to give him his credit, he has openly spoken out against a few times. But then he just does stuff like this. Then he just says, like, I want to make Sucker Punch Snyder Cut. And then, like, what do you think that's going to do?
I feel like he fans the flames quite a bit.
He does, but then it's weird because then he, like, genuinely speaks out against stuff. Like, he went on some fucking, I think he went on some proper incel podcast and was, like, didn't know who they were. And then the second they started speaking kind of, like, in these kind of negative terms, I think they may have said something vaguely racist, he immediately was like, I'm not happy about this, and then left. And then after that, they immediately were like, Zack Snyder's woke! But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's an important distinction to be made that he's like, his fandom isn't him, even if he is an idiot that contributes sometimes.
No, that's true. That's true.
So anyway, world's longest movie. They added 30 minutes. I checked both runtimes. And primarily all I can see, all the differences I could kind of discern was just Lois being like, look at this bullet, everyone.
It's mostly the, like, Superman killed a bunch of people in the desert storyline. And, like, Jenna Malone is here. And she's not in the original.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she's not in the original.
Do you remember Jenna Malone from the Hunger Games? Well, here she is in a blonde wig, and now she has 2 scenes.
And I don't get it, right? Because they've made her look like she's a character, like she's someone.
Exactly.
And she's got all the Jenna Malone sass.
Because they did, like, there was, like, a picture of her that came out before the Ultimate Edition came out, and everyone was like, oh, Barbara Gordon? That'd be cool. Is it Barbara Gordon? Yeah. And they were like, nah, don't worry about it. It's just some person, you know? She, like, works forensics for a fucking the Pentagon or some shit. Who cares?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And she's got like a real close relationship with Lois Lane. And she's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what anyone's job is here or what anyone does.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that they were like, oh, sorry it wasn't Barbara Gordon, but we did give you Jimmy Olsen until we shot him in the head 5 seconds after he says his name.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. Also, well, technically he is in the actual movie, in the theatrical cut of the movie.
Yeah.
But they don't say Jimmy Olsen. They're just like, oh, CIA agent, and then they just shoot him dead. But yeah, in this one, we're like, oh, it's Jimmy Olsen, you know, Superman's best friend, fucking sweater vest, little fucking nerd, photographer for the Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen. No, he's just a fucking dead cunt here. Don't worry about it.
And then also like Superman, like his death implicates Superman for the entire movie. Superman is effectively on trial in Zack Snyder's eyes for the fucking murder and charred corpsing of his supposed best friend who he's never met.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very strange. That's one of them weird instances of like, that's just a name. They just went, who haven't we used?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's Jimmy Olsen. It doesn't matter. He gets killed anyway. Fuck him.
This movie, it seems to have like a certain contempt for the source material. Which just really rubs me the wrong way. You know, I feel like it seems to me that Snyder, like, this is my opinion, okay, but it seems to me that like he read the comic books, but he just looked at the pictures and was like, oh, that looks cool. He read the Dark Knight. He read the Dark Knight Returns. And, you know, he saw the iconic pose on the cover. He saw the big fucking mech suit which he wears when he fights Superman. He saw all this imagery and went, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to put that in my movie. But then just all of the actual, you know, the dialogue and the subtext and the actual heart of the story, just in the bin. You don't need any of that.
That's, I was going to say this until we got a bit later in, but like this is... The thing is, Zack Snyder's always been known for a visual director, right? He can make things look good, right? He's very talented.
And they do look good.
And it does. There's scenes in this that look genuinely, like, visually stunning, but it is very much that. It's cool imagery, and what the last note I wrote on this is I've kind of sussed out where I stand on it fully, and so it just makes me feel absolutely nothing. Like, watching it, I'm like, I don't know, man, Superman dies and I don't give a shit. You fucked something there.
It's style over substance in every
it is.
in every fucking aspect of it.
But then it thinks it's got so much substance as well. It thinks it's a really clever film.
It thinks it's secretly very deep and very clever and very a real thinking man's movie.
Then the deepness boils down to, what if Jesus? And it's like,
it is, yeah.
Oh wow, that's not the most obvious parallel to draw.
And they fucking beat you over the head with that like every 20 minutes. Like, hey, this Superman guy, he's kind of like Jesus, don't you think?
and if you didn't, here's him T-posing in the fucking sky.
Jesus, man. Wow. The Messiah? Wow.
Man, it's one of them where I was really excited to go into this because I enjoy it. When we did Man of Steel a couple of years ago, I had watched it recently for a video I was working on. I haven't seen this in quite a few years. I'll put this back on. And I was like, I wasn't as sour on it as I used to be. And I was like, oh, there's some heart in here.
From what I remember.
No, but I genuinely did enjoy it quite a lot. And I was thinking...
Not me. Bad movie.
No, that's fine. But I was thinking there's more heart in it than I remembered. There's kind of a Nathan, stop. But there's this kind of feel to it that I'd overlooked before, I think, where there was like quite a human story in amongst some of the weird choices of the film. And at its core, I think it was trying to do something it maybe didn't fully achieve, but I could appreciate. And then in this one, I was like, well, maybe the same thing. Maybe I'll have this kind of fucking come to Jesus moment.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing, and I was hoping for it as well.
Yeah.
I was hoping because, and you know what? I had the exact thought because of our recent episode on Still Got Legs, where there was an episode we did recently on our Doctor Who podcast where for years now we have mocked and made fun of a certain moment in that show, okay? Because we find it hilarious. And then when we got to that episode on our rewatch, we both had this Danny DeVito, I get it moment. Where the stars align and where, oh my God, I was wrong. This is actually genius. I was really hoping that when I watched this movie last night and it got to the Martha scene, I was really hoping that I would have some come to Jesus moment and I would be like, oh, that's actually... But then it happened and I just laughed because it's bad. Because we'll get to that later. But it's an element of this movie. It is certainly something I can say about it.
Oh God. All right. I'm gonna read something verbatim if you don't mind. Just my general thoughts overall. I like the concept of a human race so fundamentally misunderstanding Superman. They fear him or worship him, which I think is quite true to how a modern society would react. On the flip side, Batman has applied his jaded, pessimistic outlook and cast his sights on Superman, rather than look internally at how Batman's own worldview should shift to accept an all-powerful force that wants to do good things. Instead, he sees him as someone that wants to do horrendous things. He says that line about the 1% chance he has to take it. Batman is used to power corrupting people, not improving them. And I like this dynamic quite a bit, because it finds Superman in a realistic worldview, whilst also presenting an older Batman who would be fundamentally opposed to that worldview because he's seen it and he's sick of it by now. And then all the manipulation with Lex Luthor is quite compelling to watch play out. But the trouble for me is how fucking easy it seems to be to manipulate, trick, and use Batman and Superman as chess pieces, considering they are a journalist and supposedly the world's greatest detective. And they cannot see more than 2 feet in front of them the entire fucking movie. I don't know, man. There's things I appreciate about it, right? I like the score. I like certain designs. I think the movie visually looks really good, but it's a what's that expression? A nothing burger? Where it just looks like something nice and then you open it and you're like, what's in here?
It's like that SpongeBob burger thing.
What, the moldy Krabby Patty?
Yeah, where it's like the Krabby Patty. Like on the outside, it looks great. It looks like a delicious burger. But then you take a bite into it and it's just brown sludge just all the way through.
Oh, yeah. You know? That's a regular Krabby Patty then, yeah. It's fucking boring.
It is. It's really boring. And that is so fucking boring, man. I physically said out loud last night when I was watching this movie, like at least at 3 different times, I just went, this movie fucking sucks. Because I was so bored, man.
I paused it and I was genuinely shocked that there was an hour and a half left. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know where we are. I've seen this movie and it feels like it should be ending. How does that even happen?
Yeah, it's about an hour into the movie before like anything actually happens as well.
Yeah.
It's just people stood around talking for like all that time. I'll tell you what I do like though. Okay, I like the opening sequence. Okay, not the fucking slow-mo parents dying again, fucking to the 70,000th time. All right, I can do without Jeffrey Dean Morgan going to punch a guy and then immediately getting shot in the face, okay? I can do without fucking Martha's pearls falling at the fucking rate of, I don't know, something very slow, okay? It's...
Can I quickly just talk about this opening very quickly?
Okay, sure.
Firstly, we've got Negan and Maggie, which is very fun.
Yeah.
I like that fun pairing. But then also I feel like it sums up the whole movie, right? Because it looks visually stunning. It's lovely to see, right? Lovely to look at, even if we're sick of looking at the same thing that we've seen in 1,000 movies. But then the way it's shot, it kind of encapsulates how stupid the entire thing is, because it looks stunning, but then it seems like Jeffrey Dean Morgan instigates the fight. The way it's framed, it feels like he has like got the situation underhand, and then he goes, what if I lamp this cunt and get myself killed? And if that's not... This movie entirely is, what if we really beautifully constructed a story where we fundamentally misunderstand everything we should get by this point?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, sorry, go on, because I know we're not going to come back to that.
It's not even in a fucking alley. It's literally on the street right outside the theater. It's on the same fucking street, man.
Batman's flying. Do you like that?
No, hate that.
He rises up, Nathan.
No, hate that.
Maybe he is the Dark Jesus.
Yeah, great. Hate it. I don't need any of that. Fucking get rid of it. This movie's already too long. No, the Metropolis sequence. The fucking Bruce Wayne coming to... I don't know. I guess he's the only person who can get his co-workers, his employees out of the building for some reason. Whatever. I don't care.
And he arrives not in a bat suit, strangely.
No, well, yeah. It is kind of strange considering he's got access to a bat plane and, you know, all these gadgets and tech and everything like that. But he chooses to just get there in a helicopter and then drive there. Yeah, and then just drive there in a Jeep, which he maybe commandeered or something. I don't know what's going on there. But...
I think he just has these deployed helipads around various like intro points into cities. Where he's like, have a Jeep waiting for me in case I can't get my fucking...
Well, he arrives. It's a Wayne helicopter that he arrives in. It's a...
Why don't you get closer in a helicopter? You're going to need the height. What's your Jeep going to do in this?
Yeah. Well, he needs to get to the Wayne building in Metropolis, doesn't he?
Just go and land on another building. Then at least if it gets blown up, he can just fly.
But there is also the fact that there is 2 men hurtling through the buildings as well and crushing them to death, you know? There is that aspect to be wary of.
Yeah, saying that, you probably want to be... I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. I don't know whether you'd fare better on the ground or in the sky, yeah.
Anyway, it's 9/11 times 1,000 is what's going on in Metropolis. It's like super 9/11, but Bruce Wayne is very cool.
And Bruce Wayne runs in like Mark Wahlberg, ready to put a stop to it.
Exactly. Bruce Wayne's very cool and doesn't care. He'll go tell his employees they can leave work or whatever.
But make it up to me over the weekend.
Yeah. Make sure he'll do some overtime.
Make sure you punch your clock out cards.
It is weird that they haven't left yet, by the way, because like when it goes to like the guy who's like Jack in the fucking Wayne building, you can see the level of destruction and devastation that is going on else, and they're all just in the office building, just like stood looking at the windows, like, what are you fucking doing? Get out of there, you insane people.
I know what I'll do. I'll sit in a fucking high-rise skyscraper. No. You can see these 2 fucking idiots flying through every fucking building around you. Get out of there. It is made worse by the fact that, like, if they had just not mentioned it, then I could like just overlook it and be like, oh, they wanted a cool shot over the shoulder of all this destruction kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, Bruce Wayne rings this guy who I guess is like this building's manager or something.
Yeah,
he's got
whatever.
Bruce Wayne's
the
number.
Wayne Tech of Metropolis CEO
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
he's
not how
just that
companies
guy.
work, but yeah, sure.
No, but for all intents and purposes,
Yeah.
I don't think Zack Snyder knows how it works either.
Don't worry about it.
But he answers the phone. He's like, "All right, guys, the boss wants us out of here." Like, I know it seems like you have to explain it, but if you took it out, that's the power of movies. That I would just go, whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that they went. It's like the thing, like everyone moaned about all the destruction in Man of Steel, and then in this movie, at two separate occasions,
it's the end of the workday, so nobody's in this part of downtown.
Yeah,
because
there are
everyone
no
has
businesses.
The same shift. Everyone has the exact same work pattern. Every single business closes down at 5 p.m. on the dot, and that's
Imagine my shock opening a restaurant in that downtown area and then being like, "Oh, I forgot there's a fucking national curfew at fucking 4 p.m. here."
insane. Anyway, all of that to say, I actually like the opening sequence. I do. It's pretty cool. I like Ben Affleck running around as Bruce Wayne. I like him running into the smoke pluming through the streets. I like him helping Scoot McNairy when he's got no legs. And then there's this weird moment with like, I don't know if this meant anything to you, but like when he was helping that guy who like the building crushed on his legs. And I can't remember if that's in the original theatrical cut or not. It seemed like it was new
That
stuff.
guy, yeah, he's pretty crucial to the plot. That dude.
Yeah, he is. But when he was helping that guy, he went, "Oh, what's your name? Wallace? Wally?" I was like, "Oh, are they doing a Wally West sort of thing?" Because that's like a big DC sort of character here. But then they were just like, "No, just another Wally, I guess."
It didn't. I'm not too familiar with the Flash, like, and his.
But you knew it was the Flash. I didn't see the Flash.
No, but I know who that character is, but I wouldn't. If I heard the name Wally, I wouldn't immediately be like, "Oh, that other version of the Flash." That I like. I've never seen a thing of that character, apart from whatever they showed in the Flash. Whatever.
Is Wally West in the Flash?
Yeah, is he the one that has the big hat?
No, that's Jay Garrick.
Oh, okay, then maybe he wasn't in the Flash. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the Flash.
Or maybe he was, but he was so indiscernible by what the fuck. That was me. It was just a blurred fucking AI mess in the background. So
I mean, maybe. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It didn't ring that way to me, but like we've seen very clearly, this movie's not above being like, here's Jimmy Olsen, bang, he's dead, fuck you.
Shoot him
So,
in the face.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
it's true.
pretty cruel to be like, here's a version of the Flash that now will never turn into that version of the Flash because we took away his legs.
But hey, I wouldn't put it past him though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't, and that's the worst thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, I do like a lot of stuff in this sequence. I really enjoy enjoy is probably a bit strong, but I do like the moment where he like comforts the young girl and then just while looking up into the sky and seeing Superman and Zod and just that look of disdain. It's how I imagine Zack Snyder looks at a comic book, if I'm being honest. just that look of hatred.
See, I like that, and I think that's good. And the fact that the movie opens this way, it proves one theory that I have about this movie to be completely and utterly correct, is that Zack Snyder, back in 2012, maybe 2011, went to Warner Brothers and went, "Can I make a Batman movie?" And they went, "No, you can make a Superman movie." He went, "Okay, can I put Batman in the next one and then make a Batman movie?" And they went, "Yeah, sure." And he went, "Cool, thanks." Because it is so apparent throughout this entire movie how much he could not give a fuck about Superman, but how much he wants Batman to be cool. Like,
but also how much he just doesn't understand Batman as well, though.
Yeah.
How much he it's one of those surface level understandings of Batman. Like it's just the cool gadgets, like fucking billionaire sort of, and he can like literally beat up anyone and it doesn't matter who sort of thing. But it's not like he was on some fucking podcast recently and he was talking about the whole Batman killing thing, and like he said, like when you tell him that Batman can't kill people, the first thing he wants to do is make Batman kill people. And I'm like,
why?
It's so boring though, isn't it? It's just the interesting thing about Batman is you can get him to that breaking point. You can take everything away from him and he still fucking won't cross that line. He'll still have to find a way to solve this problem without crossing that line. And to fucking have a movie where his kill count It's pretty fucking high, man. Okay,
Yeah, it's really high,
Pretty fucking high in this movie, and you're telling me, like, if you can watch that fucking Batmobile chase sequence and tell me he doesn't kill anyone in that sequence, you're a fucking idiot. He hits someone with his fucking car.
Yeah, deliberately. Yeah, and also I hate the thing of like, I understand why the movies do it, because it's a kind of the way of getting the bang for your buck destruction that people want to see in a superhero movie, whilst also being like, well, Batman didn't pull the trigger, so did he really kill someone? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He drove his car into a man.
He
didn't pull the trigger, he punched the accelerator.
The Batmobile fucking dived into his face, okay?
Yeah.
That man is dead, okay?
And if anyone's there like, well, that guy just got in the way of the Batmobile. No. The truck's on a road. The Batmobile fucking emerges from a tower and fucking just careens into this thing at 200 miles an hour.
And also, the Batmobile, like, crashes into one car, sends it, like, flipping over several others. Then it fucking grabs it on a winch and drags it for, like, a mile. Whilst there's still people inside.
My favorite bit is where, like, this the car crashes into a building and it's not quite, like, everyone's there, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they can survive it. But then the Batmobile just launches a projectile missile at it. And it's like, Bruce Wayne's there, like, just to make sure they're all fucking dead. By the way. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. All that to say, yeah, Batman shouldn't kill. I watched that fucking, at least like a 15-minute segment of that podcast. Because I did a video for the Mr. Sunday Movies channel on it. And then I also, like, they did it on the podcast, and it became like one of those podcast clips that turns into a video.
Oh, did you do it?
And I just watched like that clip just so I could kind of find some good expressions, right, just to use. And my God, man, just like the stuff that he's saying, and like the comments that I like scrolled through, and it was like, the GOAT, get this man back into Batman movies, and it's like, no. What? Why? Like, why do you just want to see this over and over again? Like, look, I'm not above saying it's cool. If you can tell me that that's not Batman, it's well shot, it's well directed, a lot of it is well choreographed, all the Batman stuff. But, like, it's uninteresting, isn't it? It's unfulfilling. It's just one of them things where you watch it, and there's a pretty apt metaphor where it's like eating, like, a fucking XXL pizza, right? You go, oh, this is amazing, yum, 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 you eat it all up, and then the second you think about it, and you've finished watching it or eating it, for the metaphor, you just go, that was fucking, I feel like crap now,
I feel like
and that was
shit
bad.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why did I indulge in that so highly? Yeah. I don't know. Let's change gears a little bit. I want to talk about Amy Adams and Henry Cavill.
Okay, two people who have no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah, and I cannot believe for a single second they have kissed, let alone had sex.
Yeah. First of all, this is just a quick thing. What are you doing getting into a bathtub with your fucking boots on?
Do you know how fucking stressed I get, right? When, like, fucking... if there's any kind of overfill on a bath...
Awful,
and
mate.
it gets onto the ground...
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to get out. I need to put a towel down.
Yeah,
I hate that. Yeah. Oh,
that's going to leak through. What about your
think-
downstairs neighbours? No forward consideration for those? Hey, Superman.
Well, there's a lot of people Superman doesn't think about or consider in this movie.
It's true. Yeah.
Namely all the war crimes he commits and the victims of them. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're just like... They're two people that I think have it in them, but not under this material.
They're two good actors.
Really good actors.
I really like both Henry Cavill and Amy Adams, and they have done good stuff.
I think Amy Adams more so.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I like Henry Cavill though. He's a big nerd. He's a big like fucking hot brute, like muscly nerd. Basically, he's like he's a big himbo. Really, he's just like he's a big dumb hot guy who loves his little Warhammers and building
my
PCs.
favorite thing is on Twitter, every 6 months people rediscover he plays Warhammer and they're like, he's just a little nerd. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Known this for a decade.
It's fun. He seems like a nice guy. But yeah, it's just I don't know what's going on. at no point am I like, this movie keeps trying to tell me like they love each other more than anything, and I'm like, really? They look like they kind of tolerate each other at best.
They look really indifferent to each other, and I think that's mainly because they spend the entire movie just being vaguely sad about things.
Yeah.
And like, but never really divulging that with each other. It's another thing entirely for a couple to be upset about something and talk and find those loving moments where they communicate and they get through to each other and they can lift each other's spirits even for a second. But these guys are just in a room together and they're like, Lois is like, it'll get better, and he's like, what if it doesn't? Anyway, I'm gonna fly away now, and I'll see you in 10 minutes when we're doing something else.
When
and
we're
it's
flying again.
Yeah, and it's just, they both have it in them, right? Fucking, I believe that Amy Adams could be an incredible Lois Lane, but, like, I don't know, the fucking world's greatest reporter? Excuse me, General, are you a terrorist? That's going to get you killed. That's going to get you shot on sight. Like, oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, two people that are just, I think, they work well. Their castings work well as individuals, but they maybe didn't do a screen test together because it feels like any casting director would have seen them together and gone,
oh, those are two beautiful people. They will work well together. But yeah.
But then when it comes down to it, they just, and that's not a comment on them necessarily. Some people just don't have the natural chemistry with someone else. People just don't gel sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean you.
Yeah. That's why the first half an hour of the podcast is always an argument before we can settle down.
Superman definitely killed that guy, right? In the desert.
The one who like flew into it 100 miles. Yeah, he's dead.
They like fully. Lois and Superman killed him together. Like Lois like let go of him, so like she knew they'd done this before. All right, this is a weird kink game they play. All right, like fucking hell, you could tell like. And then he's saying, I didn't kill anyone in that desert. Bull fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
You flew that guy through at least 3 fucking walls, okay? Didn't kill him. Fuck off.
If Superman didn't kill him, the fucking person that turned off the switch on his life support after his like fucking coma that he would never wake up from did. Yeah. Like, oh god, that
man is fucking mush after that, okay? He is a puddle, okay?
Yeah, it's a wonder we didn't just see him burst. You know, in the Boys, when A-Train runs through Huey's girlfriend at the start? Yeah. That's exactly what should have happened in that scenario.
True. Yeah, it's true.
I like the idea of Lois just being like, Perry, send me somewhere dangerous. And he goes, all right, Lois. And then she goes somewhere dangerous, and it's like, la-di-da-da-da, no one kidnap me, please. And then when she gets kidnapped, she's like, fuck yeah, my boyfriend's going to mush you up.
What's going on with the Daily Planet? All right, like, what? Perry White, like, your namesake, Lawrence Fishburne, okay? He's like handing out these assignments, like, Clark, you're on sports today. Okay, that seems weird, first of all.
Yeah, but then is there not a department for this?
Yeah, but then he's also like, Lois, look, you can go to Washington, but fucking a coach only, all right? We're a failing newspaper. We don't have the budget for any of this. But then he's also like, yeah, Lois, go to the fucking Middle East. Go and take a flight to a desert. Go undercover with the fucking CIA on this fucking mission. Sure, why not? You know?
Well, he doesn't know about the CIA, to be fair.
No, he doesn't, to be fair. But still, I don't know what.
They're still sending a middling papers journalist to the fucking Middle East.
Exactly, yeah.
To, like, talk to someone that, like, I'm no disrespect to Lois Lane.
Here? What's the story? She's talking to the head of some, I guess that kind of, yeah. No, okay, all right, I'll take that back. But still, okay. Like, it seems, the budget for this newspaper seems to be all over the place. Really is what I'm saying.
It does, and I also think the capability of the staff is all over the shop as well, specifically Perry, because he has some great zingers and one-liners. Clark comes in and is like, there's all this crime going on in Gotham. And then he's like, crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news, water, wet.
That's kind of, what you just said right there is like 95% of Perry White's lines in this movie. It's always just some quick little one-liner zinger sort of thing. Just...
But then you see him spitballing like actual headlines that the Daily Planet is going to run, right? And it's just like, he goes, what does he say? It's like,
he says like, Metropolis ends love affair with Man in the Sky or something like that.
Awful.
Yeah, how horrible.
I've never taken a single journalism course, but I know that you want to go with Superman for your headline over Man in the Sky, of which, weirdly enough, this country has seen a few of.
That's true. Yeah, which one?
Yeah. Which terrorist do you mean, Perry? Yeah, I don't know. Very, very strange.
And also, no one ever seems to leave the Daily Planet's office. They're there like 24/7.
Apart from when Clark dies, and they all get the day off in this working newspaper, an industry that famously runs day to day.
Yeah, they all travel to Kansas. They all travel to Kansas to go to the fucking funeral for this guy who looks a lot like Superman and died the same day Superman did. But let's not worry about that.
They all park their cars in a perfect line down the fucking country road as well.
It's true. They do. Yeah, but yeah, like whenever we see like shots, like scenes going on, and it can be like morning, midday, and then even fucking very late at night when all the fucking fight stuff is happening. And they're just always at the building, like no matter what. They never take any time off, I guess.
They should all be adhering to the national 4 p.m. curfew.
Exactly, didn't apply to them, did it? Fucking hell.
I've got a note that says, I'm surprised Neil deGrasse Tyson wanted to be part of a movie, considering how much he fucking hates all aspects of every movie ever made.
He doesn't hate them. He's just a fun sponge.
He's just an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's famously a very clever man.
He's a very intelligent man. Okay.
But to the detriment of everyone else's fun. Like,
yeah.
What at what cost do we have to put up with this clever man?
I think he leans into it, though. He kind of does it on purpose. He's like, yeah, I'll poke holes in your movie.
His Twitter engagement goes wild every time he tweets about any movie. So he's like, yeah, this will get me trending for the day.
Sure.
Oh, dear.
Does that help him in any way, though?
Some people just like it, don't they? You seen that video of Elon Musk doing all these weird poses on a red carpet?
Oh, my God. Oh, I have, and I hate it. And I can't... I see it, and I've seen it a few times, and I can't look away. But also, I can't, like, I hate watching it. It is. It's a fucking car crash. I'm like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable watching this. You are like, how can you have that much money? How can you be the richest person in the world and be so fucking unlikable? And just be, you can just tell everyone fucking hates you. Oh, my God.
I saw a couple of people observe that, like, it's so clear how much that attention means to him, like how much he really needs that validation from reporters being like, "Oh, you're so funny! Look at the poses." But then also how, like, the way he fidgets, he's so viscerally uncomfortable in his own skin. He just fucking hates. Like,
it's like watching The Office. It's like
it is.
It's like watching a very an intentionally cringe-worthy episode of The Office, like when Michael is doing some just. Like, Scott's Tots is an episode that I physically cannot watch.
Oh, yeah.
I skip past it every time I rewatch The Office because it just fills me with dread, okay?
Like, remember that episode where Toby, like, accidentally puts his hand on Pam's leg or something? Oh,
God, yeah.
And it's like, oh, no!
It's like that. It's rough, man.
Yeah, it's no good.
Anyway, fuck Elon.
Yeah. Speaking of no good, Jesse Eisenberg. Let's talk about him.
Will I have anything good to say about this movie? Maybe. But not here. Because, oh my God. I can probably... Well, I don't know. I was going to say I could probably forgive a lot of this movie if it wasn't for Jesse Eisenberg. But...
Okay, yeah.
I don't... Is it the biggest crime of this movie?
It can be. But, like, the thing is, people... I've seen two sides of the debate, right? Because one instance, if you vibe with what's going on here, which I don't, just a lot of twitching and nervous noises. If you vibe with it, it's the only relief from an incredibly stoic and boring film. And on the flip side of it, it makes me want to fucking punch a brick. So, like, I just don't, like, I don't know, man. It's... And also, right, this is not... Jesse Eisenberg's a good actor. This is one of them Twilight scenarios where, like, the performer is good, but, like, they're just playing a very unlikable character or a character that you're not...
Jesse Eisenberg seems like a real dick to me. Like, whenever I've seen interviews with him, I'm like, oh, you seem like just a real, like, I really do not want to be here. Just absolute prick. Like,
I've seen that famous clip of him like berating a girl who's interviewing him, but I also I'm certain I've seen it before that's like a bit. They're both in on an awkward bit that they're doing.
oh really?
But then I don't, because like I can't remember who said it, and I don't have enough context to know that for sure. But like I've seen it was suggested that this is a thing. They're both completely fine, and not because like no one's that much of a cock, like a complete and utter, like he is a prick.
He is a cunt in that interview.
Yeah, and I feel like it would have gone down so much worse had people not like have some sort of context behind it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if anyone else acted like that, they'd be like cast out. People would be like, "Don't fucking."
If they would.
Oh, this rude. He's like mid question. He's like, "That's a shit question."
I know. I've seen it,
like,
but
yeah.
like, I don't know if they'd be cast out.
No, maybe not to that dramatic state, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's like as a bloke. I know he's a good actor, right? He is a good actor.
I don't know if he is. No.
Fair enough. He does, mate. Whatever he's doing here, he performs it well. It's just fucking awful and annoying as a characterization.
I don't know if he performs it well. I hate everything about it, quite frankly.
Fair enough, yeah.
I think it's just you're right. The characterization is way off. Okay, first of all, the fact that you've got Lex Luthor, the most formidable Superman villain, a man who himself has no powers, no abilities, but can bring Superman to his knees when he needs to. Okay, and he's just this little weird man who cannot speak at a fucking event without breaking down and having a fucking whatever the fuck that scene was. It's awful. I hate everything about it. It's this weird, jumpy, nervous twitch he does. It's kind of like fucking. I think Snyder like fucking said to him, "Hey, what if you were the Joker?" Okay.
It does feel very that, yeah.
What if you were the Joker before the Joker accident? Okay, like go with that, all right. And that's what it seems like. It seems like he's doing some weird. I don't know who the fuck it is, but it's not Lex Luthor, all right.
No, it's not. Yeah,
it's bad.
It's one of them things where like the manipulation behind the entire plot, right? Like I take umbrage with it anyway because it's one of them screenwriter things where like Lex Luthor's plan only works if very specific things happen that no one can ever predict.
Yeah.
And like again, I'm so more than happy to turn blind eyes to dumb shit like that. Like I don't care about that kind of stuff a lot of the time. I find a lot of those criticisms very cinema sins. In fact, Nathan might have a noise to represent such a thing. There we go. But like, yeah, those criticisms are very much like, why are we pulling this apart? It doesn't need to be pulled apart. Like, but
I feel like on that thread though, I feel like your movie has to be good for you to not care about those things though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You like if the movie's bad and if I'm losing interest in the movie, then I will focus on these things and then I will
because it's all that's left.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'm not enjoying the story. I'm bored out of my mind. I hate this performance. So I'm not enjoying anything here. So yeah, I'll pull this shit apart. Whereas if I was watching a movie where I was having fun and really caught up in it, then I just wouldn't be thinking about that other stuff, you know?
Yeah, because you'd just be, like you say, caught up in it and thinking about all the good shit that's going on and like not wanting to miss it. But I don't know, because the kind of thing where I'm at with this characterization of Lex Luthor, right, is and to reiterate as well that this comes from a person that like I don't know anything about Superman. I know the very basic tenets of some of his comic stories, and that's it. Like I've never really read Superman. I don't know a hell of a lot about Lex Luthor as a character.
He's a big, strong, nice guy. That's all you need to know.
And that's basically all it has to be, right? Like it's so incredible that it keeps going wrong.
He's a big guy who's nice. All right, that's all you need to know.
But I could forgive if Lex Luthor was more self-serious. And maybe like they've obviously gone for like a younger, wackier vibe, right? But like if they had gone for like maybe someone slightly older, someone a bit more serious.
I don't know if anyone suggested Bryan Cranston for this role, but he would have been quite good.
He would be quite good.
That's a little joke because that's literally the only person anyone suggested for this role.
Season 2 of Breaking Bad came out and everyone went, "Whoa, what if?" But no, because he comes across as so childlike and goofy and unhinged and more unstable than calculating,
Yeah.
then it makes his goofy plan feel even goofier,
Yeah.
right? But if we had a self-serious Lex Luthor, someone that more kind of sat kind of more balanced in the film's overall tone of being this big serious piece, this big thing, then the manipulator thing would be more believable because you could believe that it would be calculating and menacing and malicious. Whereas this Lex Luthor seems like things just fall into place for him because of how goofy he is. Like, I don't believe this man could run anything. I believe that this Lex Luthor would approach that Russian guy that's in every movie and go like, hey, can you do this? And the Russian guy would be like, I'm just going to shoot you and take your money. Why am I dealing with that? And that's the other thing. People take him seriously. He's talking to senators. Senators are writing him checks. And like, look at him.
Yeah.
Use your judgment to be like, this man's a paranoid fucking lunatic. I'm not giving him a single penny to also take, by the way, the government's most valuable asset ever. In the form of a fucking specimen alien they can confirm is an extraterrestrial, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right, because there is that guy who is like, oh yeah, I can give you what you need. Tell me what you need, and then he just weirdly starts forcing sweets in his mouth.
Yeah,
and like, what?
Leave the meeting.
This is the guy who's helping you, and now you're doing some weird kind of power play where you're like making him eat a Jolly Rancher. I just don't understand the logic behind this.
And no one plays it like a power play either. Like, you walk away from that scene thinking that senator or whoever that guy was writing in blank checks could still knock him out with a single punch.
Yeah,
like,
anyone could.
Yeah, it's not a menacing performance. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Like, I'd walk away from... There are people in real life that I've, like, met or just had encounters with, like, working, like, customer-facing jobs and that I have felt threatened by. Their aura, just in general, their vibe, makes me unsettled. But then I've also seen people where they're trying to be unsettling, and I'm like, you are the biggest loser I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this Lex Luthor is in that second box. Like, I'm just not... He's not imposing in any capacity whatsoever. So the fact that, like, he brings, like you say, brings Superman to his knees. Like, it's like, oh, in an hour we'll kill your mum.
Yeah.
Fucking kill him and then fly to your mum.
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking, you've got superpowers. I don't know, scan the world or some shit. Listen out for your mum with your super ears.
Also, that, like, if you go try find your mum, we'll kill her. All right? But I guess we won't if Batman goes to try find her. Like,
yeah.
Hey, if anyone tries to get this woman, we will kill her. What's that noise out there? Is that the sound of all our guards being beaten up to death? Should we kill this woman? Nah, let's just leave it for a bit, I reckon.
Let's wait until Batman, who in this universe, by the way, is known for branding people and killing them outright. Let's wait till he's in the same room and then warn him that we're going to do this.
I think the movie was trying to say the branding thing was like, Batman is doing the branding thing, but Lex is doing the killing inside the prisons, isn't
he?
Yeah. But Batman's still doing the branding. Like, people are still getting killed as a result of these brands, and he's not like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. No, he's still just fucking like, is it any different, really?
He's like, oh, fucking hell, someone else is doing my murdering for me. Excellent.
Great.
More murdering.
Anyway, like, I don't understand how this guy's alive. Like, Superman should just, like, fucking one punch him and just, like, fucking send him to the moon, and then...
Yeah, there's no way that, like, this guy is able to do all of this.
No.
Because he's just not... He hasn't got the fucking source for it, man. Like, he just hasn't...
That's the thing about Lex. You can have this, like, really intimidating performance. You can have... The fact that he doesn't have powers, and yet he is able to beat Superman and get the upper hand and like fucking and bring him to his knees and get the better of him. That could be so interesting and really good to see. But instead, it's just some little boy goofing around and just fucking doing things seemingly on a whim, basically.
Yeah, it's none of it seems like it's planned. It seems to all fall into place, and then like. Making, like, we'll get to Doomsday in a bit, but, like, making Doomsday...
Oh, my God.
Like, plan A was that Batman kills Superman, right? That's what he's been stoking the flames of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So what if Batman did kill Superman? Because again, the only thing that stops him is something that no one could ever plan for happening, right?
And why did he? What was the whole thing about Batman killing Superman though? Because
he wanted man to kill God to prove that man was capable of defying like a thing.
But like, I don't understand how like he knew that Batman would be able to kill Superman. I mean, I guess he knew he had the kryptonite, but like,
I think he intentionally like wanted him to steal it. Like,
Yeah.
I think again, if it was in the movie, it would be clearer because it would be in the movie.
Yeah.
But like, he's very obviously and dropping a lot of clues as to like, I'm taking the kryptonite here. I hope no one breaks in. Because then you see on the security footage, Batman swoop down and take it.
Yeah,
and he
that's
smiles to himself and is like, I'm happy about this.
But then why tell Superman to go fight and kill Batman? Otherwise, we'll kill your mum. What? Why tell this unstoppable god to
Yeah.
go kill this man with no superpowers? Okay. Otherwise, we'll kill the one of two women that you love very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not just say, hey, go fight Batman? I guess because they need the power over him. But
He can't force Superman to do anything. He wants Superman to go and fight Batman, right? But then like, if your plan is for Superman to wind up dead,
yeah,
then surely you want Batman to have the fucking advantage.
yeah.
And I
Don't
know he
send him in
does, but
there.
again, that's not because Lex Luthor fucking gave it to him. That's just
Yeah.
because Batman is prepared.
Yeah.
Because when is he fucking not?
And also, Superman's an idiot.
yeah.
Yeah.
He lands, he's like, Bruce Wayne, I don't want to fight. And then he just gets Sonic blasted. But then he goes, well, you've antagonized me now. No,
Yeah.
dude, your mum's life is at stake. Just be like, I'm going to fly over there so you can't do any more smoke bombs on me and shout
Yeah.
at you and tell you what's going on.
The fight itself, it's pretty disappointing, isn't it? Because it's like 5 minutes, maybe. It's brief. It's pretty brief. And the whole movie is like, oh, Batman really fucking hates Superman. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he fucking hates this cunt. He is gonna go so fucking hard on this cunt. But then once it's over and they have the Martha moment, which we'll talk about in a minute, they're like, oh no, we're good mates now.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So yeah, the resolution we will get to because that's a chunk in itself
That is a chunk in itself.
of the conversation to be
It
had.
is.
But like one of my general thoughts that I didn't read out
Yeah.
was that this movie, and I'm talking about the normal movie, the theatrical cut of the movie,
Okay.
because this one it just stretches my patience just too much. This one
Okay.
because it's too long for how not good it is. The theatrical cut of the movie, to me, falls into a so dumb it's fun camp where I watch it, and although I get absolutely nothing from it, I still occasionally get to see these fun scenes of two characters that are very iconic just punching each other, just like fucking little ragdolling each other around, right? And that's the kind of stuff that, like, if I'm watching a dumb movie, I'm all in for that kind of stuff. Like, the thing is, the movie is called Batman v Superman, and although the fight is brief, it is exactly what was promised. Just two iconic figures having a scrap and having a punch. And I think although there are some disappointing elements, like
Isn't
how...
the title a play on like legal proceedings?
It could be. I wouldn't say I know enough about legal proceedings.
Yeah, because like court cases are like, I don't know, like-
Frank Castle versus New York.
yeah, the people
Yeah.
v Frank Castle or whatever.
Yeah.
But like fights are versus VS.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it is like because there is the whole Superman in court sort of thing. So I think it's a
It
intentional
might
play
be.
on that.
Yeah, I'd never really considered that, but it could be. I also think it's a bad title. Like, I know that there's like the studio saw an opportunity to have like, how do we communicate as clearly as possible that these two fight in the film?
Yeah.
But then lop the Dawn of Justice thing off, because also, by the way, no one's getting justice here.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a movie where people die and get hurt for pretty much no reason the whole time.
The Dawn of Justice is like, oh, the Justice League are coming and they're in this movie, and they
Yeah.
are. But,
Oh, they are, yeah.
but they're in an email. But,
In a forgettable sequence, so forgettable that I actually didn't write a single note on it.
well,
Like,
I didn't write any notes.
oh, well, there we go. You're just going off pure hatred here.
I am. I'm just fueled by anger and hatred. Anyway, the fight.
Yeah, what I like about it is it's somewhat different to other superhero fights. And right, I'll tell you what, pros and cons. Cons, it's too short.
Pros: white eyes.
Oh, pros, yeah, white eyes. Another con, I think it's way too stacked against Superman, and it's very clear that the director is less interested in Superman than
Cons 4x3.
no.
Cons, it looks like shit.
Yes and no, because it does. You're right. It does look like shit. And I know. I remember distinctly when I was like fucking. How old was I in 2016? I'm 27 now.
19.
I would have been
19.
Yeah, 18, 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second year at uni, 18, 19 ish. Right.
No, first year at uni.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember being on my bed in my mum and dad's house, just a wee nipper. Right?
Okay, yeah.
I open my laptop screen because I hear that a new clip has been released from my most anticipated movie of the year, Batman v Superman.
Oh, wow.
Right? I open it up. It's 2016, man. Cut me some fucking slack. But I open it up and I see it's the clip where Batman fires a kryptonite smoke grenade. Superman catches it and it blows up in his face.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, bearing in mind I went into that clip watching it being like, I'm so fucking excited to watch this clip alone. I'm so, and I see the thumbnail. I see it's part of the fight. I'm like, oh boy! I click on it. I shut my laptop after watching it, and I remember thinking to myself so distinctly, that looked like arse. That looked like shit. Like the rain looked like it wasn't there because it wasn't, obviously.
Yeah.
And like it just looked visually uninteresting to me. Now, circling back to it, I don't know why my tastes have changed, because sometimes this rule doesn't apply. I think it looks bad, but I accept it for this weird heightened scenario. I like that kryptonite is this big green putrid gas kind of thing coming out of these canisters. I think it looks visually striking, even if I know that in my heart of hearts it does also look kind of bad.
I don't necessarily mind the kryptonite gas or anything like that. I just think like with like the fake rain and the it looks quite washed out at times.
Yeah.
It looks quite I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it looks washed out, and then there's like moments where like Batman does a run and jump in that suit, which he can obviously should not be able to do a run and jump in.
Yeah.
He's moving too quick in that suit, and you can tell, oh, that's obviously like the digital model, and it's just it doesn't look good.
There's some parts where Superman's face flies past the camera and you're like, it doesn't look like that. You know, like Spider-Man 3 face replacement. It doesn't look like that, but you can tell that this is an elastic man. This man could stretch in any which way direction. Yeah. Because Henry Cavill, it doesn't help that Henry Cavill is the most muscular defined man of the century.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when you kind of make him this gooey thing, it's a little bit, maybe a bit too kind of elastic.
I do like the moment where Batman's just punching him, and then like slowly the kryptonite wears off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Superman's face just like remains in place as he's punched, and then Batman just has a look like, oh shit.
Oh fuck.
That's pretty funny. I like that.
There are those kind of fun little nuances and details. There's not many of them, but when they happen, they're fun. I like that. Like
I think it's just that one.
No, there's another one where Batman's standing there, and it's when Superman first lands, and he goes, Bruce, let's have a ow, my ears! And as soon as he gets blasted with the fucking sonic cannon or whatever, right, it just kind of cuts to Batman, who's in the world's biggest tank of a fucking suit, right?
Yeah.
And he just has a little grin.
I like the suit. That's another thing I like.
The suit's good. The suit's very cool.
He shouldn't be able to move in it like he does, but I like the suit.
See, that was another one of my pros, right? A lot of superhero movies go for a fast, dynamic, whipping cameras all around the shop fight, right? Where no one feels real, nothing's tangible. A punch lands, and the only thing that has to show for it is like they might have added like a thunder sound effect. Yeah. So it feels like it's a louder punch, but we don't see it up close. We don't see anyone get hurt. We just see them fall into different walls and stuff. And there's a lot to be said about that kind of being one of the flaws of Man of Steel as well. You don't get that kind of tangibility, and it's too quick to really know what's going on at any given point. One thing I really like about this is, by nature of Superman holding back for a little bit at least, and then Batman being completely on the offense but so armored up that he's like slowed himself down to be more protected, it's kind of sluggish and it's slow, and it's more it's something different. I like the slow nature of it. So then I think that's why it does break the immersion of it a little bit when he suddenly does a big old leap in the sky, like he's fucking I don't know, made of air.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right. It's that kind of like weightless aspect that you like. Yeah,
It's
doesn't
Daredevil
seem
2003 vibes.
yeah, same guy.
Shit! Yeah.
He's back.
Oh, I forget the many things Ben Affleck has done in his varied and weird career.
Yeah.
Dear.
He's looking good in this. I'll tell you what.
His regular suit, the grey-black suit, my favorite bat suit.
Not a fan.
Not what do you not like about it?
No, it's too padded. It's very padded and bulky. Like I can tell that.
But that's the Dark Knight Returns vibe.
No,
right?
but like the Dark Knight Returns isn't like padded at all though. It's
no,
just
but it's the size of a house.
Yeah, but like Ben Affleck isn't. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because like when Ben Affleck he's big enough, all right.
Yeah.
When you can see like Ben Affleck fucking working out and everything like that, like there's a big beefy guy, all right.
See his bum.
Because you do see his bum. He's in the shower. He's like, look at my bum.
I still rank the Gone Girl Ben Affleck shower scene as the better one because you see side cock in that scene.
I've not seen Gone Girl since it first came out, so I cannot remember that.
You obviously hadn't had your sexual awakening because that side cock is memorable.
Okay. Well, there we go. I thought of all the phrases to appear on this podcast, I was not expecting sidecock to come out on the Batman v Superman episode. But...
Watch the movie again. It's the only way to describe it. It's sidecock.
All right, great. I'll look out for sidecock. Next time I watched Darren Aronofsky's Gone Girl, I guess.
It's not Darren Aronofsky.
Is it not?
It's David Fincher.
Oh, yes, it is. Sorry.
Aronofsky's the weird one that makes movies that
David
some
Fincher's
people
pretty
like.
weird as well.
Yeah, but he's not nearly as pretentious as Darren Aronofsky.
Isn't Fincher Twin Peaks?
David Lynch, I think that is.
Oh yes, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
with his big silly hairdo.
David Lynch. You know, you can see
Yeah.
how I get confused.
You can,
Yeah, they both make.
but you
weird
said
shit.
Darren Aronofsky's.
I know. Well, it's a D. All right. Okay.
So, mate, fucking, you want to see some D? You want to go to fucking Sidecock in Gone Girl?
Enough about Sidecock from you. Okay, you're banned from Sidecock talk for the rest of this episode.
So you think he's bulbous? You think Batman's too big?
In that suit, I do. In his regular grey and black suit, and also it's like it's not grey enough. It's too dark. Make it more grey. Make it lighter.
I agree with that. I think I like the texture of it. It
Hate
feels
the
very
texture.
like. Oh,
Hate the
really?
texture. Yeah, I hate that like weird jagged lines all over it.
I love that. I think that's
And
really
the
cool.
Robin suit has the same sort of aesthetic. Don't like it.
Yeah, the Robin suit sucks ass because that's not what the Robin suit should look like at all.
No. And why
Also,
is he
mention him, you coward.
Mention him first of all, but
Yeah.
also why has he kept up this weird monument to what I'm assuming is Jason Todd's death? Where they're just like, ha ha ha, Joker, joke's on you, Batman, because I killed your boy. Oh, I guess I'll just frame that and put that up in my fucking cave.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, but then I also feel like Batman can.
Remember when I beat your son to death with a crowbar? Let's just frame that on the wall, shall we?
Or judging by the size of the costume, do you remember when I beat your 35-year-old friend as well? Like
I don't know if I got a good enough look at it. It had the shorts though.
It did have the shorts. I'll go for that. Yeah, it is definitely still too dark. I can't imagine how this looks with exposed legs.
See, this is the thing, because it gets close. It gets so close to what I want, but then it's like, but no, you're not having it. Because, like, we've got a cinematic Batman who had a Robin, all right?
Yeah.
But no, he's dead, and now he's alone or whatever.
Yeah, he's dead and you can't see him.
Yeah.
And his costume has shorts, but is also Batman's vibe. So he looks like an emo cyclist, I guess.
They already
practice.
did Death in the Family, so that means... And I guess there's a Nightwing then, I guess... Dick is already fucking Nightwing at this point. I don't know, man. But
maybe. I mean, you think he'd be first on the rap sheet for the Justice League in the next one, but nope. Anyway, Martha.
Oh boy,
what's left to say?
Exactly. What is left to say that has not already been said on this movie that came out almost 10 years ago at this point?
Yeah.
It was filmed 10 years ago, bizarrely. So there we go.
That's strange.
Yeah, probably over at this point.
Henry Cavill looks no different.
No, he doesn't. He ages like
Actually,
wine.
most people don't.
Yeah, Ben Affleck kind of does, I think.
Ben Affleck got a lot skinnier.
Ben Affleck, yeah, he's happy. He's with J-Lo. He's happy.
Yeah, let's get away
let's
from
not
this.
talk
Yeah.
about his life. Yeah, he's with J-Lo. He's got his big back toe. All right, he's getting
Yeah,
his Dunkin' Donuts. All right, he's all right. All right, let that man be happy and just leave him alone. Stop taking photographs of him.
Yeah, when
Although
he looks
I do enjoy every photograph that comes out, and it's just like the most pissed off man you have ever seen in your life, just carrying a large Dunkaccino or whatever.
And he's always kind of side eyeing the camera, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, good for you, Ben Affleck.
Good for you indeed.
He seems like a nice guy, I guess. I don't know enough about him really, but
He seems nice enough.
yeah, I'm sure he's fine. Yeah.
He was in Air, the shoe movie.
Oh, you fuck off with your shoe movie. You keep trying to get me to watch this fucking shoe
It's a good movie. It's a good film.
I'll never watch it. I refuse.
Right,
Anyway,
the Martha thing.
Martha.
It's been a punchline for so long that it doesn't even feel real. So when it happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a thing that actually did occur one time.
Yeah.
Like, it was very strange.
I remember seeing it for the first time in the cinema, and I hadn't heard anything about the Martha scene, so
Yeah.
this was completely fresh. I remember seeing it for the first time and just thinking, what? What now? Wait,
Yeah.
no. Is this a joke? Wait, surely not.
I had the opposite effect. I watched it in the cinema. It was one of the first times I'd been to the BFI IMAX in London, right? The big 70
the big
millimeter
boy.
fucking screen, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fun fact,
I was,
I've only been there once. Guess what movie I watched there?
this is tricky. Was it a Godzilla?
No. That would have been cool, though.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
What movie would you have watched there? I don't know. Spoil it for me.
What was the James Bond before the last one?
Oh, Spectre.
Ah, Spectre. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Spectre. Yeah.
What a fucking waste of a
Yep.
70 millimeter screening, yeah?
Yeah.
Those tickets aren't cheap either. Like,
Yeah. No.
there's nothing in that that's visually like,
And it was at 6 a.m. as well.
oh, Lord, Nathan, why?
Yeah.
Were you that into James Bond back in the day?
But it was I was at uni and I was up and I was just online. I thought, oh, I'll go to the cinema and see what's on later today. And this was at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, oh, Bond is playing on the BFI. And at that point, we lived in fucking thingy. Well, I
Down
did
the road,
anyway.
yeah.
I don't think you did at that point, but it was literally a fucking 5-minute walk away from where we lived. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can just walk there, yeah, and go check it out.
Do you know how annoyed I am? I kick myself so many times for like, at uni I was into movies, not as much as I think I am now.
Oh, definitely not. You're so much more insufferable now about movies than you were at uni.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but I lived 5 minutes for 2
Although
years of my life.
Saying that, you were also quite annoying at uni because you were somehow more, but also less pretentious back then as well.
I was more pseudo pretentious in uni times. I cared a lot more about people thinking I cared
Yeah,
about the movie, whereas now I'm like, leave me alone and I can go watch a silly film.
yeah.
And every
but you're
now and
also
again,
quite
I'll get pretentious on this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that there's a difference between passion and pretentious. All right, that's my thing, and maybe that was a pretentious sentence. Anyway, I kick myself all the time. For 2 years of my life, I spent living 5 minutes down the road from the UK's biggest screen, save maybe the Science Museum.
No, I think it is. I think it's the biggest screen in Europe.
Oh, is it? Well, there you
Yeah,
go
I think
then.
so. Yeah, biggest cinema screen in Europe.
And I just never took advantage of that ever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
did
don't know
try
why.
to book Star Wars tickets there for The Force Awakens, but
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw The Last Jedi with you, and it was a double billing of Force Awakens first, right?
yeah, that was quite rough. Not because we had to sit for The Force Awakens, but just because like the sound was bad and it was like it was a poor screening from the fucking Cineworld. Yeah, no, I tried to get tickets for The Force Awakens there for midnight, but gone within like 5 seconds, mate. Like fucking completely sold out within like 5 seconds.
They're impossible to get tickets for now. Like it's you have to be there on day dot. Like
Yeah.
you have to be. It's like fucking concert tickets. You have to be there refreshing the page if you want them. I tried to. My dad likes the Apes movies, the Planet of the Apes movies.
He's in good company.
I hadn't seen them properly until you made me watch them for the pod, and I've quite enjoyed them since. And obviously the new one's coming out, and I texted my dad saying, because he's been like, he likes going to the cinema quite a lot, but he doesn't really venture out, and he's been interested because I say something about IMAX, and he's like, so how, like, what is the difference in terms of like the screening and stuff? And I'm like, well, come along and I'll show you. And I thought I'd just fucking blow his mind with the 70mm IMAX first. And I like sent him one of them trailers for like the capability of a 70mm IMAX showing. Right? I sent him it, and he replied saying, I'm in my 70s, that could kill me. and I went, fair enough.
I reckon we should get him on.
I'm not comfortable with how much bleeping I would have to do. It's basically where I'm at with that. Anyway, yeah, what the Martha thing, it's the thing that gets me about it is I can understand the intention, right? Like people saying like, oh, it's not actually stupid if you get it. I get it. It's fucking bad.
No, you just don't get it, Lawrence. It's
okay.
Genius. Yeah.
My mistake. Yeah.
Because the thing is, Bruce Wayne's mum. All right. Bruce Wayne's mum.
We all know.
She's called Martha.
We all know, and it's just bad.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
Sometimes things are just allowed to be bad.
The fact that in the opening sequence as well, you have fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan going, Martha, purely for this. Like, that is the only reason he does that. It's purely for this fucking sequence later on. Yeah,
it's not great. And I just think it sticks out like a sore thumb because in this very boring movie of people mostly talking, it's such a departure from how people actually talk to each other.
Yeah.
Superman's dying words are going to be save Martha? Yeah. Probably not.
Well, why are you calling her Martha, first of all?
Yeah. It's very convenient, and it feels like fucking Chris Terrio, right? He's one of the writers for this. Zack Snyder fleshed out the story for him, but Chris Terrio has a history of doing this kind of dumb shit, right? Just writing a line that no one in real life would ever say.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, I don't know, man. This is the thing. This is the worst thing about it is it's like the climax. It's the turning point of Batman's arc.
This is what stops the fight.
Yeah.
This is what changes. This is what stops the man who has hated Superman for 2 years now, to a point where he said that even if there is a 1% chance that he is capable of this, we have to take it as an absolute certainty and put a stop to him, okay? The man who is fucking obsessed and wants to kill this god, okay? Because their mum has the same name, now he's like, oh, we're best mates now.
Yeah, and it flips on a dime like that as well. Yeah. Like within 30 seconds, they're making jokes.
Literally, like fuck it. As soon as Superman's up on his feet, he's going, "Hey, don't worry, bestie. I'll go save your mum."
Yeah,
all right?
I'll give you my word. I'm like, oh, the word of the man that just fucking crippled me to my knees and threatened me with a spear. Like you weren't even going to kill him in a fight. You were going to execute him. Like, he had surrendered. He was down.
Yeah, it's true. You had a spear to him. You were just going to shove that through his chest, all right?
Oh. And I like it as well. I do like the moment after where Batman does, like, get in his little plane and he radios into Alfred, who, by the way, has been challenging his ideology the entire film.
By the way, Alfred great in this movie, all right?
Oh, I'm just so conflicted because Jeremy Irons sucks shit.
Yeah, I know
hard.
He does. He's a weird guy, all right. Yeah. But I think he does a great. I think this is probably the best on-screen Alfred we've had. Really,
I think it's. I
like a sassy Alfred who's not afraid to give Bruce like a bit of a fucking talking down to. You know?
I do. Andy Serkis would edge it for me if not for how capable Jeremy Irons seems to be with all the weird gizmo and gadgets and stuff.
He's a gadget boy. He's doing all this tech and shit as well.
He's making it all. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I like that element. I do like how Andy Serkis is a bit more like old worldy thinker. Like Andy Serkis has this like he's the one that cracks the what are they called? The Zodiac. What are they called? The thingies.
I don't know. Conundrum.
Oh, there's a word for it. Conundrum.
I don't fucking know.
He solves that riddle. No, he's the one that he works out like the code, what the actual letterings and all that equals to, whatever.
Grammar, some shit.
Some shit like that, yeah. And I like that how he's more old worldy thinking. But I also am a fan of this Alfred.
He's doing his little Sudoku.
Yeah. But I like that he has that. We don't see it in this movie, but in the next one, in the 17-hour Snyder Cut, he's going fucking Wonder Woman makes a tea, and you can see him kind of getting aggravated that she's like burning the tea because she pours the water straight onto the tea bag, and he's like, "You'll scald the tea like that."
I haven't watched that since it came out. Maybe I'll watch the Snyder Cut today. I absolutely will not. Hello, Nathan from the future here. So I lied and I watched the Snyder Cut. Pretty fucking terrible. Like, way too fucking long. It's in 4x3 for the whole fucking, 7 hours or however fucking long it goes for. It's, literally 2 hours into the movie before there's even kind of, any action sequence. The whole thing could be, fucking 2 hours shorter if Snyder didn't insist on making every single scene have about 75% slow motion sequences in it. I don't like it. It's bad, but that's just my opinion. And if you have a different opinion, it's wrong.
Hello, it's Lawrence from the future here. I didn't watch the Snyder Cut, but I just received that voice note from Nathan, and I wanted to disagree on his 4x3 point because it actually uses the aspect ratio incredibly well. It's a great aspect ratio for shooting buildings and faces with kind of the amount of clarity that you need to get across, especially for kind of a mythic epic like this story is. I don't necessarily agree with everything the movie does. I don't think it's as bad as Batman v Superman. But yeah, Nathan, I wasn't going to let him talk about aspect ratios unchecked. So anyway, now back to the actual podcast.
Let's go past this, right? Martha's bad.
No, but just on Alfred. I like an Alfred who's not afraid to be a bit sassy and be a bit, and put Bruce Wayne in this place and give him. Michael Caine was too wishy-washy, in my opinion. Michael Caine was too much. I love you, Master Wayne. Hold on, I can get this. I can do this. All right, okay. Give me a minute. Okay, I can get it. I know that wasn't great, but I can get it.
I'll cut some preparation if you want to vocalize any.
No, I can do it.
Okay, because I absolutely weren't.
I was in Berber, and I saw a boy playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine.
It's quite good.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. The Lamborghini, then.
Yeah, that's very good. It was that though. Michael Caine's Alfred was very much like Master Wayne's the best guy ever. I'm not going to do the voice. Master Wayne's the best guy ever.
Yeah.
And then he does something that is
and then he'll cry because he misses his dad or whatever.
Yeah, and Batman will do something that Michael Caine knew he was going to do and agreed with him doing. He planned something that Batman then went and did, and he was like, "Is this the best way to use Batman?" And it's like, this was your fucking idea, you old bitch. What do you mean?
I bloody told you though, didn't I?
Yeah, and he's like crying over the death of his parents' grave. Like, I failed you. You told me to look after your son, and no, you helped him.
You helped him become Batman.
Yeah,
you were complicit. Anyway, yeah, Martha is dumb. It's pointless. Then there's Doomsday.
No, hang on, we've got the warehouse fight.
I mean, okay. Here's my thing with the warehouse fight. They clearly saw a fucking Predator sequence takedown from Arkham Knight and went, what if we put that in the movie?
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's pretty fun. My only issue with is with again Batman's bloodlust because that moment where he grabs the crate and just throws it at that guy's head.
Oh.
And not only that, but you see the blood on the wall afterwards.
Just don't put the blood in. I know it's visually cool, right? Right, here's the thing, right? This is if you gave me this scene, and you just gave me an MP4 file with this scene on it, start to finish, all that I see, all the context I get, I would go, that is a really good vigilante short film. Yeah. And then if you said it's actually a Batman movie, I would go, okay, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm less interested in it.
Yeah.
Because that's not a good version of Batman. But if I take the movie at its terms, which is this Batman is a criminal, just straight down the path, a criminal. Yeah,
this Batman is a serial killer.
Yeah. If I take it on those terms, right, and just look at it through that lens, it's a fucking incredible scene.
It's good. Yeah. I like it when he gets shot in the head and it just doesn't affect him at all.
And he turns around and he's like, "Fuck, did you just do?"
Yeah.
But he's got there's good aspects towards it, right? Like, he's using his grappling hook to pull enemies towards him. Like, that's good stuff. Just like the idea of a grappling hook just piercing through a guy's shoulder and then ripping it towards an oncoming punch from the man the size of a house.
Jesus,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and like he fucking downward punches a man's head through a floorboard. Like,
Yeah.
It's just cool. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know it's not Batman, but it is cool.
It is cool. It is cool to see. And it really is, like, you know, it's always so much fun doing those takedown sequences in, like, the Arkham games and stuff. And it really is that come to life, even to the point of, like, the disruptors hitting the guns and stuff so that they can't be used and everything is like that. That's the thing. It does Batman quite well up until he grabs a guy's assault rifle and starts just going... Oh yeah, he literally grabs a gun and shoots people in that scene as well.
He goes around the room. He circles the room with it. Yeah. I do like that there is. It's also a distinction, and again, this is why I keep thinking that just Zack Snyder was waiting for a Batman movie that has to have Superman in it. I guess because that's what he's doing. He hasn't. He's got the upper hand. Obviously, he has the upper hand because he's Batman and he could murder all these people and happily would in a minute.
Yeah, he'd love to. Yeah.
He can't actually wait. Alfred's like, I'll drop you off on the second floor. He's like, fucking just drop me in anywhere. I'll kill him. I don't know. I don't care where.
I love that moment where as well he's like, I don't deserve you, Alfred. And Alfred's just like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, thanks. And also, I've told you this the entire movie that you should not kill this man. But then he was like, oh, my mum.
Oh, we got the same mum's name or whatever.
It's not even the same mum. It's just the fucking same name. Anyway, he's not Superman. I like that he very obviously has the upper hand, but there is a moment where 4 dudes just fucking start wailing on him.
Yeah.
And Batman's best strategical defense is just, I'll just take this for a second. And then he sees an opening and he goes, and now you're all dead. Like I like that. Whereas Superman, it's just not touching the sides, is it?
Yeah,
like
true.
he just laser the building and then like and I don't know, maybe this is why this version of Superman is so limited because Superman in this universe has been established.
Superman would just stand still whilst everyone shoots at him, and then he would just like, I don't know, just like push someone over or something.
Yeah.
And
it's
then the rest
only
would
cool
run
to
away.
see a bulletproof man for like the first couple of times he gets shot. After that, it's just like, do something or fuck off.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like all the smoke bombs, the art of distraction. I like how the film convinces the audience he's going to come through that door, and then he just wipes out the floor. Even though they've just told us he's going in from the second floor and they're on the third.
Yeah.
But the movie still manages to convince you that like it's that art of fear. There's only one entrance into this room for normal people.
Yeah.
So let's all get scared about the door. And then he's just like, well, bang, look at me. Like, I don't know, man. Look, it's a great fight. It's just a shame that like he just so transparently kills like 8 people.
He kills them all.
Yeah.
They're all dead, mate.
No, but like even like I'm talking there's ones that are vaguely killed. Yeah.
Even if he didn't kill them during the fight, he definitely killed them all when he blew up Red Russian with his fucking with his flamethrower.
There's one guy that's like, I can't believe I got away from that, and then he just gets singed to fucking a crisp.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
The nightmare sequence.
Where are you at with it all?
It's interesting. It's good.
You said that was said so much like, no, this isn't actually that interesting at all.
No, it is. It is.
It sounds like you're trying to be nice in a slew of mean things we've said.
It's okay. Look, I like the nightmare sequence. Okay, if the whole movie was this. And they were flat out like, oh, this is a different world. It's not fucking normal DC. Batman's gone, like Superman's gone crazy and everything, and fucking Batman has to stop. Whatever, okay. If it's this different world and you're showing me this sort of Injustice-esque universe, great. I'm fucking all for that. That'd be cool. That'd be sick. All right, I'll watch a whole movie of that. But it's just like, and now here's this. You know? And then it's just like, here, let's take 5 minutes away from the movie, the rather boring movie we're watching, to show you this pretty cool, frankly, probably a movie I'd rather watch.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, see you later, you know?
That's mostly where I'm at with it as well. I think it's like, the worst thing about it is it's, like, one of your common complaints about Batman is that we just keep seeing the same thing. Like, we keep seeing the same version of the same character, just adapted by a different director or whatever. Yeah. And they vary. ever so slightly, but they're never vastly different. It's always Bruce Wayne, and it's always the same Bruce Wayne you'd expect it to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's older, sometimes he's younger. That's pretty much as varied as they get.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the thing that bugs me about this is, like you say, yeah, it's like a variety hour kind of segment where they go, what if you were watching this much better film for 5 minutes, and then just when it gets good, we're going to go, oh no, back to this.
Yeah.
And then you go back to that, and then you go, oh, we're back to this. And then the Flash arrives and is like, maybe the rest of this movie is going to turn into something more interesting, and then it just is forgotten about again.
Yeah.
My thing with it is, like, Zack Snyder, I've said it before, but he's such a visual director, and he's a director that cares way more about making shit look cool than he does kind of grounding it in anything real, for me at least. And I just think it's so clear that he has so much more of an interest in this sequence. Like, he shot this in IMAX. This is a big thing
this
that
is
he
another
wanted
one
to
of
make.
those moments where it goes into 4:3.
Yeah.
The aspect ratio, yeah.
Which I like.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna. No, we've already done it enough. All right?
Yeah.
No, what I like about it is that he shines at making shit look cool. That's his best stuff. So just give him a weird Batman. Let him do a weird fucking Batman. Like, I haven't even read it, but I know the concept of that Gotham by Gaslight. Can you imagine how, like, cool something like that would be in the hands of Zack Snyder?
Well, like a weird sort of like steampunk sort of Batman-esque universe.
Yeah, and like a vampire Batman or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, give him something really fucking weird. I guarantee people would see it. I know it's weird and it's a gamble, but it's a Batman film. People would still go and watch it.
I don't want to see any.
No, you want more of this. You want, like, the nightmare
I don't
stuff.
want. Look, if you like his stuff, then fair enough. But personally, I'm not interested in any more Snyder DC stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I meant, like, they should have.
Oh,
if they could wind back the clock. Yeah.
If they'd have done this at the time, sure, absolutely. Now, couldn't care less.
That's where DC's always been successful in just doing the opposite of Marvel. If they've made a Man of Steel movie, whatever, people are mixed on it, it's fine, it's whatever, right? Like, leave that alone. Take a swing at Batman, but just make it a weird thing. Make it an odd thing.
I don't know if I fully understand the idea behind the nightmare sequence, okay? Because it's supposed to be some version of the future, okay, where Superman has gone insane because Lois has died or something, okay?
Yeah.
And he's gone fully off the rails and become this fucking weird dictator terrorist who's got armed soldiers and everything like this, okay?
They've all taken the time to sew in a patch on their sleeves.
They've got the symbol of hope etched on their arms for some reason, but sure.
As they line up people and shoot them in the desert.
That's pretty funny, okay. Okay, and so Batman is like some kind of resistance fighter who's trying to stop Superman in this future, okay? But then the idea was this version of the future, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but from my understanding, this version of the future was stopped in Justice League, and let's take Zack Snyder's Justice League as the example, because that's what he wanted to do, okay? Because when Superman came back, he was like, oh, I'm evil or whatever. But Lois didn't die, and they were able to get him back to normal, so that version never happened. Except then, maybe it does, because they show us another version of this nightmare sequence, where the Joker's like, hey, I'm the Joker. I'm here now. And
would you like a reach around?
Would you like a reach around? And Ben Affleck's like, I will fucking kill you. Okay.
I said a naughty word.
Yeah. Look, you killed my son, and I didn't kill you then for some reason, despite the fact I have killed people for a lot less. But I will kill you. Okay.
Just driving a car.
Just driving a car.
That's enough.
Just going for a leisurely Sunday drive. So I don't know if I fully get what the intention behind it is. Like, is it supposed to happen? Is it not? I don't know. I'm kind of lost on it all.
To say that I knew would be a lie, like an outright fib, because I don't. And I don't know, I was on your kind of wavelength. I thought this is supposed to be a future that, like, firstly, a future that Batman feared would happen if he were to not kill Superman.
But then it's real, though. Like, it's supposed to be, like, his dream, which is, like... That's why it's called the Nightmare of a K and stuff. Oh, funny Batman. But it's like supposed to be this scared future that what he envisions. But then you have the Flash coming back in time and being like, no, it's real actually. Lois is the key or whatever. I'm too early. Am I too early? Oh fuck, I'm too early, boys. Send me back.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue. Right? I just I know that's maybe not what people are interested in hearing, but I don't know the intention. I think Zack Snyder's Justice. I think that was probably what was going to happen, and then it was stopped because Lois wasn't dead and was around to kind of ground Clark back to Earth once he was resurrected. But then I think he just got carried away with the idea of I wanted to get all my ideas out, and the fact that the Joker and this Joker and this Batman haven't had an interaction is criminal to Zack Snyder. So he was like, I need to do this. I need to put these in a scene together. I
joked about it, but if this is a Batman that kills, it makes no sense why that cunt is still alive.
Yeah, look, this is where he fundamentally misunderstands it, right? Because it's like that's the interesting part of the Joker, is just that he is someone that has to be put up with.
Yeah,
because the only person capable of killing him won't.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh, give me a gun. I'll be further. Give me a sniper or something. 6 months to train up. I'll just put me on a roof near wherever stuff's going down, and while the Batman's deliberating, I'll just fucking knock him out. What do you reckon?
You'll knock it You'll knock him out?
No. As in, I'll knock him off the face of the earth.
Okay,
you'll
kill him. Okay.
yeah.
Poor choice of words on your part.
I know it was. Anyway, what else is going on?
Fucking Jesse Eisenberg's plan B is to turn Zod into fucking to turn Michael Shannon's fucking life puppet or whatever they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
into some weird fucked up version of Doomsday, which sure, I guess.
This is another thing. I'm not familiar with Superman comics at all. I can almost guarantee. Yeah, but no, but this isn't Doomsday, is it? Like, no. That's not what a Doomsday is.
No.
Yeah.
It's not some Kryptonian general turned into a fucking big grey monster. No.
I like the lore that it's like, it's the ship tells Lex Luthor. The Kryptonian Council they decreed that there would never be another abomination like this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, where are they? And like, oh, they're all dead. And he's like, oh, fuck, what do I want then? Right. I like that exchange, but then it also does infer that, like, once upon a time, the Kryptonian Council was useless as we did see him to be in Man of Steel. Or when one of them just went home one day and was like, what if Jerry died the other day. What if we fucking put him in a goo thing?
Yeah.
And made a thing, and then they make this, and then like several thousand Kryptonians have to find out a way to kill this thing. And they're like, we're never doing that again. Put that in the laws. Make a book. We're not doing that ever again. Yeah, look, and this is also quick, right? This is also too speedy, but also I'm glad it's over.
And this is the thing. It kind of feels like Snyder was like, again, just looking at these comic books and going, oh, let's just do all the big cool moments. Let's do Dark Knight Returns. Let's do Death of Superman. Let's put them all in one movie.
Yeah.
Like, why? Let's
get to them slowly.
Yeah, it's such a waste to just have everything all here. And then in your second Superman movie, you want to do Death of Superman?
See, that's
because you bring in Doomsday, and I'm like, oh, well, I know what's going to happen now. This is Death of Superman.
Yeah. So... And this is the thing that kind of aggravates me about it, right? Is it's also not even a second Superman movie, right? I could walk out of this with no context. I don't even think it's that, because like when it boils down to it all, right? Like I think that there is, like if you think about the protagonist of this movie, firstly it's Batman because he's the one that has the arc and he's the one that is an active protagonist doing things, right? The plot is entirely centered around Batman's opinion of one guy, right? Superman is also not the antagonist because they're not going to do that because Warner Brothers aren't dumb. Well, no, they are, but they're not that dumb.
They definitely are dumb.
But like, they're not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
So then there's a villain. There's two villains. There's Darkseid. There's Doomsday and there's Lex Luthor being villains, right?
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, absolutely. As a kind of a more meta, overarching villain of the piece.
Yeah.
Batman is the protagonist. Superman for the entire movie is there. He's just there. Like that's all he does. He is there to be the thing that the public talk about and go, we don't know about this.
Yeah.
And that's all he does. Like genuinely, the entire
haven't really
movie.
Talked about it, but also Mrs. Incredible is in this, and she's like,
I I love Holly Hunter so much, but I could never hear another thing. Like, it's just every time she opens her mouth, no, I'm not going to say it. She's in something that we're watching soon.
Oh, really?
That I know you haven't seen. Okay, fine. Yeah, Succession.
I know she's in Succession.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's in like a hefty chunk of Succession, and it's very strange. Okay. She's good in it, but she's good in everything. But it's such an iconic voice.
Yeah, it's like she opens her mouth, and I'm like, Helen, what are you doing here?
yeah. Where's Bob? Where are the kids?
But anyway, she got blew up with some piss or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh God. The Trinity team up. Wonder Woman's been here the whole time, by the way.
I mean, the less said about that, the better at the moment.
So I had a beef about this. This is one of the moments that I came around on, and I corrected myself, because for the longest time I've thought that iconic "Is She With You" shot where it's the three of them, that big shot that everyone is like, oh, it's the Trinity team up. Like, for some reason, I know it's the grapple gun now, but in my head, it was just Batman holding an assault rifle for like the past 10 years. And I was like, because also, no point of the movie would dissuade me from thinking that would be a possibility.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
And then in this one, he's like grappling around, and I'm like, oh, it's not the gun. Yeah, fair enough.
All right, here's what I like. I like the music. So
absolutely
good. Okay.
Overused as the universe expanded, but good music.
But I don't care, because it's the greatest fucking theme ever made. It's incredible. I love it. Every time it comes, I'm like, fuck yes, it's so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's having a great time during that fight with Doomsday. She looks like she's having the time of her life. She's got a great smile. Every time she gets punched, she's just got like a fun little smile on her face. And then
she's been out of the action for a while.
Yeah, it's true.
She's well up for all this.
She's been crying over fucking Chris Pine or whatever. She's been pining over Pine. And
that poor man that was just a meat puppet corpse for a little bit.
Wait, what?
Do you remember? In like fucking, she sees Chris Pine, but like in actual fact, she's just hijacked a guy for the entirety of Wonder Woman 84. Just another guy is Chris Pine.
Was it not Chris Pine?
No, it wasn't Chris Pine. It was Chris Pine's like likeness in her consciousness. But like if anyone else saw him, it was just another guy who like had his own family, and like they have sex and stuff. Like there's some real brushed over elements of Wonder Woman 84.
I've not seen that movie since it came out. Maybe I should rewatch that. All I remember is Pedro Pascal being a fun little magic man and, and having a great time with it. I remember liking that movie though, and I don't think anyone else did, but I liked it.
I remember it was one of the first times on this podcast that we have just vehemently disagreed with something. And like I just couldn't I watched it and I was like, I can't wait to slate that with Nathan. That's gonna be real fun. We're gonna have an episode just like this one where we just kind of bully a movie for a little bit. And you were like, I think you're wrong, and I was like, oh no.
I had fun with it, I think. Anyway, I can't remember most of it. But yeah, what was I saying? Wonder Woman. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Gal Gadot because that's a whole fucking another scenario.
Oh god, okay? Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a whole fucking thing at the moment. Okay, and always has been. But okay, I like it. I like the character. I think she does good. Is she with you? I thought she was with you. Line. She's with you. You invited her here.
She's always been with you.
You sent her the email. You sent her the email saying, "Look at this and all these other superheroes." Fucking Lex Luthor made fucking graphic designs of them, names and everything. Isn't that fun?
It's the Marvelification of movie making back in the day, where you need a gag. In the mid-fight scene, you need a funny.
Oh yeah.
And I've just fucking murdered 15 people and then blew up a guy with his own fucking gas canister. Right? Yeah. And then he's like, I'm a friend of your son. And she's like, aren't superheroes cool?
I'm a friend of your son, even though I literally just tried to kill him. But
yeah. I'm a friend of your son. He definitely wasn't at the edge of my spear 5 minutes prior to this.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway,
good stuff. Great stuff.
I like that in the fight they're doing there's team up elements. It's not a lot of it, but there's fun moments where like Wonder Woman's swiping the leg, Superman like does a fucking like punch so that it floors Doomsday, Batman's just trying to live. Batman's just grappling out of the way of everything.
Batman is so fucking out of his element in that fight. He is just trying to avoid the Doomsday like the fucking plague. Yeah. Just this like, one moment where Doomsday is just chasing him and he's just like leaping off buildings and stuff.
He narrowly escapes obliteration about 5 times in one very quick moment. Yeah.
Oh, he's fun. So outmatched. It's quite fun.
Yeah. I like that he's mostly, for that fight, he's just kind of looking at all this being like,
yeah,
I was way out of my depth here. Like, this is not something I'm ready for.
Why does it have to be Superman who hits him with a spear? Clearly, it should be Wonder Woman, okay? Yeah. First of all, she's not affected by the kryptonite, okay?
Second she's not, yeah.
She's having the time of her life. All right, this is a great fun day for her. All right,
yeah.
Give her the spear, she'll be happy as Larry. All right, she'll have a fucking amazing time with it, and she probably won't get her chest caved in the same time as well. Because
she won't be weak as fucking piss.
Yeah, and she's clearly better at this than you are as well. So like, why does it have to be him?
I guess he's just there, isn't he? Like, I don't know. It's the because they want right. I know exactly why. It's because it's the death of Superman.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason why. Yeah. It's so he can die. That's the only reason why.
Chris Terrio will pay for his crimes, man. Like, just write a better reason for it to be Superman. Like, all it would take is one punch to knock out Wonder Woman, and he's like, I guess I'm the only option.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
That would be bad, but it would be better than this.
Yeah.
Because it would at least be a reason. Anyway, death of Superman.
He dies.
This is what I don't even mind them rushing stuff because I understand it was 2016. This was the year. No, I do as well, but I know it was largely out of some creatives' hands, right? Because it was the year Civil War was coming out, right? And Marvel.
But they were, and that was their downfall, though. The fact that they tried to play catch up and do it all at once is what fucked it for everything.
I'm well aware of this, but you need to put on your dum-dum head because you're now thinking in terms of studio executives that don't know what they're doing.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, I can understand why, like, elements of it are rushed because they just were, like you say, they were playing catch-up. They wanted to catch up and be an actual competitor. They wanted to have stakes. They wanted to Civil War, Captain America versus Iron Man. They wanted that level of... I know that was a happy coincidence in terms of the years, but boy, oh boy, did they fucking make use of it. Like, they wanted this to play catch-up. They wanted to be an actual competitor to Marvel, but the problem is they were, like, fucking 10 years behind, or, like, maybe a little bit less. But, like, I don't know. It's just one of them things where he dies. The reason I fucking have a problem with it is because I don't care. I don't have a connection to the death of Superman. I didn't cry reading the comics. I didn't read the comic. Like,
I've never read the comic. No.
Yeah, it's not something I have a connection to, and I like Superman.
I know of the comic. I know, like, the story, but I've never actually read it.
Yeah, and I think that's how a lot of people operate with these movies, like, because they're the comics would be doing a lot better if everyone that saw this had read the comic. So I don't know. It's just one of them things to me where, like, in the world of the film, it doesn't make sense. Because to me, like, I've said this so many times throughout the episode, but this is Batman's movie where Superman's role is to stand around, be hated, and then kill himself.
Yeah.
And what a cheery depiction of the world's friendliest superhero. Like,
it's true. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's and it always has. For me, the Snyderverse, it just always has missed the characterization of Superman. It's not great.
I think Man of Steel was different, and I could appreciate they were going for something different. And I know it was a reaction to a lot of the Dark Knight movies, and it was them going, well, we did it with Batman, so we could probably do it with Superman too, and make that amount of money. They hired one of Chris Nolan's mates, Zack Snyder, who is also known to be like what people refer to as an auteur, like a director that has an uncompromising vision with something. They just tried to do the same thing again, but like it doesn't take a genius to know that Superman's not the right fit for a world like that. It can't be that bleak. I don't know.
Anyway, he dies.
He dies, and the movie is
He
But
dies.
then he dies, and then the movie's like, what if he's not dead? And I'm like,
Yeah.
just leave it alone. Just stop.
And also, that doesn't even make sense with how the rest of this universe plays out. Because, like, it's not like he just comes back like Space Jesus, you know? It's
Yeah.
like he's fucking resurrected in some weird kind of, like, fucking weird science fucking Pet Cemetery bullshit, you know?
It's the idea of the icons rising. It's a bit like the opening scene had little Batman rising up, the things rising him. Like I think it's supposed to be like an elevation of an idea, a concept of like, this is a higher calling.
Yeah.
But again, it just kind of works to me as the reason of like Superman's achieved his higher calling. The people now recognize him as the hero he was all along. It only took him being universally hated and then dying.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Just fucking make his mum knit him a costume or something. Like it's so easy to get Superman right. I just
It
don't
is.
understand.
It is, and that's annoying. That's what's annoying. It's so easy to just
Yeah.
have a nice guy, a nice, big, beefy, nice guy, you know?
You've got like fucking Mark Kent in this, right? She's chilling, and she like Superman goes near her. There's one cute scene where Superman calls her in the middle of the night, and it's like a "I need my mum" moment, and that's kind of sweet. And then there's a moment a bit later in the movie. He flies down on the farm, and
that
she's
scene.
like,
Hate that
"People of
scene so
Earth,
much.
fuck them." It's like,
You
what are we doing?
You don't owe this world a damn thing.
What? Also, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I know this is from another universe, but with great power comes
Yeah.
great responsibility.
But also, that big thing that's trying to kill the whole world, that's your military leader. You being here made him here. The whole deal with the... Oh, do you know what? It doesn't matter, right? Anyway, do you want to do some little things?
Sure. That general guy is so not Martian Manhunter.
No, not yet. I haven't thought about that yet.
No. They like fucking nuke Superman and then like, well, that's it. We're out of options now. There's literally nothing else. There are now other There's literally nothing else we can do. And Martian Manhunter is just there in the boardroom like, yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know.
Do you know how I know that is an idea that was never thought of until fans suggested it, and then they went, that'd be cool?
Because it's so painfully obvious.
Yeah, but that is the main reason.
Yeah.
But also in the sense that in the next movie, when they put him in Justice League, the Snyder Cut. But firstly, he's not in Justice League, and then he's in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I wonder if that could be a coincidence. But then he just shows up, and he's still there to do absolutely nothing other than go, what if I showed you that I was Martian Manhunter for a second? For no reason, by the way, in the corridor.
True. Yeah.
Little things, have you got any?
Yeah, I just did one. He's not Martian Manhunter.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I just got back into moaning mode about this.
Your little things. Go on. Well,
yeah.
one little thing, then back to me for my little things.
I think Jeremy Irons sucks as a bloke.
He does, yeah.
That's
not
just
really
one of my
relevant
little
to this- Okay, not really relevant, but sure.
No, it's not. My actual
If we
little thing is
start on
he's...
that, we'll be here all day with this movie.
I know, yeah. No, my actual little thing is he's got quite a good few lines that I like in a movie where
he
the
does.
script I think is the biggest problem with the entire thing.
Yeah.
I do like the lines "You've gotten too old to die young." That's fun, and I also quite like the fever, the rage, the hopelessness that turns good men cruel. I think that's also a good line.
I like his fun little lines where he's like, I hope the next generation of Waynes won't inherit an empty wine cellar.
Yeah.
Oh, if there will be a
basically-
next generation.
And it's just all the times Bruce Wayne looks at him and he's just like, oh, fuck off with this shit, man. Like,
I like that he keeps like, oh, go find a nice metropolis girl and settle down with.
yeah.
He keeps trying to get him to just stop this, basically.
He's like, I'm tired. I should be retired by this point.
Exactly, yeah.
But you've got me out here making fucking little gas canisters. or
I'm
whatever.
making a fucking military grade super jet.
And I can't ask anyone for help. This is just something I have to do.
It's true.
I don't have any more little things. I'm so finished about this movie now.
I have some more little things.
Okay.
First of all, let go of the fucking slow-mo crank, Snyder. My God.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
true.
movie could be... You could cut 45 minutes off this movie if you stopped with a fucking slow-mo. All right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Second of all, I guess the US government consider Martian Manhunter Superman's widow. because they like give him the flag at the fucking military funeral.
Yeah.
And I think that's usually the role reserved for the widow. They like give the widow the flag. Stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's just like I spoke to him for 5 minutes in Man of Steel.
Yeah, so I guess I'm his widow. So that's pretty funny.
Isn't that very telling of the universe as a whole, that Superman spent 2 years as Superman and made no meaningful relationships?
It's true, yeah. And also the fact that he has a fucking military funeral in the first place is just quite hilarious, considering most of this movie is spent with the US government and everyone else going, is Superman a terrorist? Is he good? We had a whole trial, and that trial resulted in people being blown up in our fucking... Where was Superman January 6th, is all I'm saying. Right? Okay. He was there. It was the same place.
Yeah, he was.
He stormed it and they blew it up.
He got the message too early. He arrived and was like, "Oh, we're not blowing shit up. I thought we were doing that."
Insane.
Oh, insurrection, man.
Do we have any more little things? I like. Okay, first of all, Clark Kent's a fucking idiot in this movie. Okay, they do that thing again, which they did in Man of Steel, where they're like, "Oh, he's an alien, so he doesn't know anything about Earth, despite the fact that he's lived here for 35 fucking years."
Yeah.
They're like, "Bruce Wayne? Who's Bruce Wayne?"
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
I've never heard of billionaire, fucking very famous in this world, Bruce Wayne.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have your ear to the ground about another vigilante running around, wouldn't you?
Exactly. And also, he seemingly is just finding out about Batman, despite the fact he's been operating for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Maybe he sees the tide turning on Superman and he's like, this one bad too. This guy suck as well.
It's true. He's looking for a fall guy.
And my costume's brighter. I'm better.
I do like that his costume's brighter in this movie.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's more blue and red. It's not just that fucking awful, just bleak, just navy blue they had in the last one.
I fucking hate his hair.
Okay, yeah.
They've his hair in the first one is very much just like Henry Cavill's natural hair. In this one, it's always when he's Clark Kent, it's his normal hair, and when he's Superman, it's slick back gelled. But the thing about Henry Cavill is that he has quite a protruding, receding hairline. So it just makes him look older than he is. And I'm like, it's not a cool look. I understand you want to differentiate the hair more. Right, I get that, but anything else,
they got it wrong though, because the whole thing is Superman's supposed to have like the curl.
Yeah,
Superman's supposed to have like the kind of like curly whatever hairstyle, and then Clark Kent's the boring idiot.
Clark Kent is the button-down nerd.
Yeah,
like that would slick back his fucking hair because his mum's been doing it for him since he was fucking 6 or whatever. Like,
it's true.
I don't know. Yeah,
I like that Superman. When Batman and Superman meet, when Bruce and Clark meet at that like fucking LexCorp thing, I like that he hears Alfred on his intercom.
I like that too.
Clark hears Alfred. Is like, oh, what's going on here? What's that? That's quite fun.
They remembered that this man has superpowers.
Yeah, because they do forget sometimes.
They absolutely forget. Yeah, yeah. Like most notably when he does nothing for the whole movie.
Yeah,
and
true.
People are blowing up in front of him, and he's like, I've sat here for a second. They're going to be dead by now. No point.
And my last little thing is I like when he's frying those fake eggs.
Oh, they're so fake. Yeah. I never really noticed this shit in movies, right? But like, I distinctly sat there and like those eggs, he moved them with a spatula and they just didn't move an inch.
Yeah.
They were like, and I get why. Eggs are a very time-sensitive thing to cook.
Yeah, you'd have to do that multiple times and stuff. Yeah, but still.
Come on, man. Make them gooey. Make them a little gooier. Yeah. Or just have them cook anything else.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be eggs. Could be a sausage.
Yeah. A nice sausage. There we go.
Speaking of nice sausages, Nathan, you should check out Gone Girl.
No, you're banned. I told you.
Sorry. Should we do some recommendations?
Yeah, sure. What are you recommending?
No, hang on, Nathan. It's time in the show that we recommend some stuff. It could be something we've watched, read, listened to, or experienced, just anything we've done the past week that we want to share with each other. Nathan, what are you recommending?
I'm going to recommend that you tell me what you're recommending.
Bajiggle. It's... I just snotted out of laughing.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I'm recommending Bridgerton, seasons 1 and 2. It's on Netflix. This third season is coming out in just half a month or so. And I just rewatched the first two. It's very good drama. It's a great show with great characters. And I know people turn their nose up at it because Netflix have a few like misses with their Netflix original shows. But it's really... Yeah, most of them, yeah. And that's fair. That is a completely justified opinion.
And also they put out like 100 a year as well.
That you've never heard. You heard of 3 of them.
You can go on Netflix and scroll through that, and you will see like 1,000 shows you've never heard of with that Netflix original logo on there as well.
Yeah, I think it's purely just so that they can cancel them and then say they've done good business.
Look, they can't all be Stranger Things, all right?
Yep, and Bridgerton is better than Stranger Things. Anyway, seasons 1 and 2. Just wanted to wind you up, but you didn't bite. Yeah, I just rewatched them. It's really good drama. There's great characters. Really interestingly written characters as well. It has fresh modern takes on a very famously elitist kind of period in history. It's very like a repressive time for like women, and they have so many good female characters in it that is really, really good. And it's heightened, it's drama. It scratches a fun little itch because it's about love and people falling in love, and it's very by the books. At least the first season is. Second season is a bit more interesting. It's just heightened drama and a good bit of telly.
Interesting.
Indeed. Nathan, what are you recommending?
Probably never check it out if I'm being honest, because
you'd love it. The thing is, you like The Crown, and it's like, what if The Crown was better and more interesting?
How can it be better than The Crown? Okay.
Easily. So easily. I like The Crown, but The Crown is objectively fine when compared to other things.
Crown's a good TV show. How dare you?
Oh my god. It is fine.
Lawrence, I'm going to recommend a handful of stuff, if you don't mind.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to recommend some actual good Superman and Batman stories. Okay?
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
So if you watch this movie and you come away thinking, wow, Superman's just a boring cunt, isn't he? I'm like, yeah, that's fair based on this movie.
Yeah.
But he's actually a really great, interesting superhero, and you can tell some amazing stories with that character. So first and foremost, if you want something live action, I'm going to recommend Superman and Lois, which I have recommended before, I believe. But hey, no, that's very good. It's great. It's great Superman, and it's called Superman and Lois for a reason, because they're both equally great characters in it who can both handle their shit.
I thought Lois was just really good at falling off buildings.
No, Lawrence, she's a great fucking reporter and investigative journalist, and
I thought she was a really bad reporter, like she is in this film.
No, she's great. She's not just like, what is this bullet?
Yeah.
What is it?
Everyone, multiple men, tell me what this means, please.
Look at this bullet. What is it?
Superman's like, why didn't you tell me about it? And she's like, I have no reason for this.
I don't know.
I just didn't share.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's that. The Dark Knight Returns, you can watch the animated movie of it. It's in 2 parts, which is good. The comic,
the one where he has sex with Batgirl.
No, that's The Killing Joke.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, The Dark Knight Returns is, and if you want to see like a good Batman v Superman fight, watch that because it's good stuff. And it actually gets the characterizations right. So there's that for Batman. Also, always just blanket recommend Batman the Animated Series because it's good stuff. I like Batman Hush. It's one of my favorite Batman.
I wanted to read that. I bought the comic of it and I haven't read it yet, but I want to.
You should read it. It's probably my favorite Batman comic storyline. It's very cool. Favorite is strong because there's a lot of like really big ones, but it's up there.
I need an iPad, man. I can't. I want to read comics on an iPad.
Get an iPad then.
Yeah, I understand that was a very simple solution. I just haven't got around to it.
Get one then.
I can't justify just getting an iPad to read comics I'm not even sure I'll read. Like, that's the trouble. It's a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, that's true. It is. If you wanted just to read the comics, then it's a pretty big investment.
Yeah, because I'll use my Mac for everything else. I don't like a big phone, basically. Yeah.
But then you can use it. I use mine as just like a sort of media player, really.
Yeah.
Like, it was great for like when I was if I'm on a journey, if I'm on a plane or a long bus or something, put a movie on there and watch that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, to be fair.
Yeah.
I could probably watch more movies in bed and stuff with that. Yeah.
There you go. See?
There we
Don't
are.
have to
All right.
disturb the
I'll circle
wife.
around.
So anyway, my recommendation is you buy an iPad.
Thank you.
And all that other stuff I mentioned as well.
That sounds like good stuff, and it sounds like that's a good palate cleanser for this. And I'm excited to not talk about Batman for a while again.
Anyway, next week.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
The Batman.
No, we've already done it. Thank you very, very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, you can leave us a little 5-star review. It'd be much appreciated. You can do that directly through the podcast platform of choice. However, Apple is always a good one because they let you write a little message. That's always nice to see. You can also follow us on Twitter at Another Happy Pod. Be sure to go over there, check out what's going on, as well as following the link in our pin tweet to suggest a topic for us to check out. No promises. The schedule is filled for the year, but sometimes we can shift things around and we'll see what happens. Nathan, we have another podcast, don't we?
We do. It's called Still Got Legs. It's our Doctor Who rewatch podcast where every week we watch and discuss an episode of that really great show. So yeah, we're having a good time with it. We're having a lot of fun. So come and join us.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for also sticking with this one. It's been a longer episode than normal, but get excited because we will see you next Friday at 10 a.m.
Bye.
Bye-bye.